Welcome to the stream. Just how slow can I keep elongating it? Make everyone annoyed with me. Hello, welcome to the stream. It's Tuesday. Higurashi stream. Higurashi Tuesday making a return. Hope everyone's been great in the interim. Whatever you've found yourself doing. Not listening to me read Higurashi. That's what's not been happening. So yeah, we're here. We're momentarily pausing throughout the week here of our designated spooky October streams to read more Higurashi. I don't know if there's anything. I always say it, and I'm probably wrong in saying it, but I feel like, there was some interesting insights, I think. Man, that's like me saying like a sentence that means nothing. A whole lot of nothing being said when I say a whole lot of some interesting insights. But I mean, I think the last section we stretch that we read was mostly, again, the kids, the village, kind of formulating, strategizing, continuing to work towards trying to get the uncle of Satoko, Bon, out of here. We also, I think, saw the fruition or the results of the pressure of the village on the people that the village can put pressure on, which we were starting to get hints of, and then it kind of really came there where I think there was like a meeting with like the teacher, Chie, and a couple others, people that hold positions in the village, right? And just how then the outside exertion, that pressure that the village who holds the power over you, how much, if you're like the teacher in that situation, whose livelihood is based on holding a position that seemingly the village and the powers that be can take it away from you. How that can, how do I want to put it? That can essentially like handicap you into, in this case, like Chie's case, like her ability to be able to help people. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Now thinking about it, and again thinking over the last couple of days, it's interesting. I don't want to draw necessarily the biggest correlation or anything, but like just even in the teachers thing, like, God, even before I've had friends that are now teachers, I'm not gonna name obviously specific people. I'm keeping keeping personal details stashed, but like, just like, obviously, especially if you live like, this might not, like, I don't know the situation anywhere outside of the States necessarily, but here in the States, and also mostly, as you would maybe guess, a lot in the South here where I live, how do I want to put it? The political climate that teachers are now dealt with, their job was already fucking difficult. And now that we have like current state of, honestly, just delusion, that a lot of parents and people exist in, apparently, just how stressful and in bad position teachers are. And this is not me trying to necessarily get lectury here as we're loading up into Higurashi, but like, it was interesting to see in the last stream, where it was like, oh, GA, the teacher, wants to do right by the kids, but obviously the powers that be have other wants, right? They wouldn't want someone who holds what essentially boils down to a position that the village is electing her to have, kind of thing, right? Teaching their kids. They think they have control. She's like, well, I can't resist, kind of thing. That whole thing is, and it did in my head make me think of like, again, I've got now more than one. I have multiple friends who are teachers, and just some of the annoyances and grievances and day-to-day horrors, basically, of not only trying to do your actual job of teaching kids and essentially helping raise kids, let's be honest, in the public school system, but also then on top of that, again, with the pretty shitty political climate adding an annoying wrench into everything. And then people wonder why we're like seriously at a problem with like at certain parts of the country, like a teacher deficit. They're massively underpaid, and then the teachers that do stick around, a lot of them kind of suck. But that's because they're just like the good ones are leaving. I could ramble forever. I feel like I don't need to, but I could. Don't threaten me with a good time. But yeah, that's basically what all of that was a lot of last thing. Like I said, it was a lot of them still formulating. They're like, how are we gonna do it? Them being told basically from some of the adults, like, it's gonna be tough. We might not get it. We still probably should try to follow the official channels. We're seeing that the official channels are being plugged up intentionally, it seems. Again, their thoughts, and most likely being the case that there's still this unnecessary grudge towards the Hojo family for something that someone like who's suffering because of it, Satoko and Satoshi prior, they had no control over. They were, they had no choice in what their family thought was the right decision making at the time, right? That's always a big bummer when it gets down to it. Like, that problem that every time it's portrayed in this game, it's like, okay, this Hojo family thought, whether it was misguided or not, that they were picking the right option in that instance, where the government, I think it was portrayed as the government was like obviously wanting to do the dam project that would of course wreck the village. Obviously there's a strong swell of support for people who live in the village, understandably want to keep the village. And then there's this, there's always in a group like this, as large of a group, there's going to be some dissenters, and they're going to be like, hey, like, we need money, and we're going to do this, and again, whether that was the right choice to make at the time or not, it sucks that then not unintentionally, but generational, you're the later generation of that family, as we're seeing, has to bear the brunt of it, even though the people who made the decision are long gone at this point, which is another, there is like, so, a lot of characters in this game, in this story, their problems, you see their problems and what they have to deal with, and you're like, damn, that really fucking sucks. And while Satoko maybe isn't my favorite character or my favorite in the club or even whatever, like, there is this aspect to Satoko's plight and her problems where I'm like, God, her whole situation really sucks. And it's like when it rains it pours type situation for her, all of the things that suck for her, because it's like nonstop, one thing after the other. When you start breaking it down and following the roots and to the big old tree of the issue and everything, it's like, oh, parents dead. Oh, parents made a decision before that now the whole village hates me for. Oh, I gotta live with my friend because the fucking uncles and aunts that keep coming are abusive. Oh, my brother who I fucking loved is gone. Like, it just keeps going bad for Satoko. So without thinking about it too hard, in my rambling state right now, I want to say that of the club members, even though she's not my favorite, Satoko, has to deal with seemingly so much shit, like, piled up, that just, it's like one hit after the other is the argument I'd make. Again, I'm not thinking about it too hard. And also, you know, she's like one of the youngest. She's not as old as like Rina and Mion and stuff, right? So it's like a per capita thing. She has most shit to deal with and most problems per capita, per inch of body, per age, per something. She just had to deal with and survive the most shit. You know what I mean? It's just so much. It's crazy. Anyway. Let's load in. Oh wait, why did I click that? Continue. I'll adjust audio as we get in here. Let me see. I accidentally... Oh, his music. Just a little behind the scenes. I try to make no unnecessary adjustments to obviously game audio on OBS's level. I change to suit whatever's happening, but I accidentally this afternoon I was messing around with things, messed around with my mic audio level. So there's a small chance that I'm either coming in even quieter than I normally am or louder than I normally am. And because I'm an idiot, I won't know until I do like my own independent tests after. If that makes any sense. I don't know. I'm hoping audio is fine. To me it looks fine. It should be fine. But we'll adjust in future days if needed. But yeah, really upset myself when I accidentally hit things I didn't mean to. You know? Professional. I'm a professional streamer. Don't you forget it. So let's see. Kechi says, "Excuse me, I have something to say before the meeting starts." They all knew immediately that I was going to say something about Satoko. Oh yeah, so basically at the end of the last stream, it was basically Satoko, or not Satoko, Kechi here was like, they were outside, because they were like having a little powwow meeting. And he was basically like, hey, we could keep going to this fucking child consultation center and keep having pretty much the same results. And we've been told now that if we keep going, it's not going to yield results and probably will have negative results, right? And then at some point he said a line, something along the lines of like, I think the people that we need to talk to are like several feet away from us or whatever, with several meters or whatever he said. And he's like, no, we're all gathered here for the, basically for the, what is it, the Wadanagashi festival, like run-throughs. I'm going to, he's like, we're gonna talk here. So that's where we're at. Now, he says, I guess they weren't just old for show.
Keiichi-kun.
Oh, Kechi-kun.
今日は最終確認だから私的な話は後にしてもらえるかい
Today is our final meeting before the festival, so can you bring up your personal issue later? I ignored him and continued talking.
ミオンやチエ先生を経由しないで直接俺に言えば済むことでしょうが
If you have something to say, just tell me directly. Don't go through Mion or Chie sensei.
遠回しなのは好きじゃない
I don't like it when people are so indirect.
直接やろうじゃないですか。
Let's talk face to face. Everyone went quiet. Nobody there wanted to be involved in a conversation about the Hojo
こ
family.
こにいる誰もが王女聡子が今王子に監禁に近い状態に置かれ辛い目に遭っていることを知っている。
Everyone here knows that Satoko Hojo is practically being confined by her uncle and suffering at his hands.
まあ積極的に助けないのはいいです。
Well, I don't care that you're not proactive about helping her.
面倒くさい人も多いだろうし。
I'm sure that some of you don't want any trouble,
でも俺らは違う。
but we're different.
聡子は仲間だ。
Satoko is our friend.
仲間を救うために全てを投げ出す覚悟で戦ってる。
We're fighting as hard as we can to save our friend from danger.
それを
However,
ケイチ君、
Geichi-kun,
その話はもちろん知ってるよ。
we're aware of all that.
わしらが言いたいのは、もう十分に強く言っただろうってことなんだ。
All we're saying is that you've done enough to the consultation center by now.
強く言うと何か問題があるんですか？
Is there a problem if we continue our appeal?
そりゃあるよ。
Of course there is.
あるに決まってんだろ。
It's a big problem too. Someone with a stern voice spoke out to me. I'd gotten under their skin.
じゃあ何ですか？
Fuck these
そ
old
の問題
people.
ってやつをお子様の俺にも分かるように説明してくれませんか？
Then what is the problem? Can you explain it so a child like me can understand?
あんなダム戦争みたいな真似事はもうとっくん昔終わってるね。
But then conflict days ago.
もう徒党組んでお役所に押しかける時代じゃないんよ。
Major banding together, so the public opposition is over. Also, it's very funny. The irony is not lost on me that like early on and throughout this whole game, I've always talked about how every adult in the game sucks and is the problem and should die. And now here we are, it's all come to a front, and basically Ketchi has realized the thing I've been saying this whole time, and he's like, hey, all the village old heads, they're in our way, and they're making it hard on us. Twisted Sisters, we're not gonna take it, starts blasting. I was right all along. All the adults in this game suck. They're the problem. The subject wasn't even Satoko anymore. All they had to offer was a bunch of
あん
excuses.
たらの時代の話なんか聞いてねえしダム戦争なんて関係ね
I'm not asking about your past, and the damn conflict has nothing to do with this.
えこいつは俺の戦争だ
This is my war.
それに参戦しようってからには俺の敵か味方かはっきりしてもらおうじゃねえか
So if you're gonna partake in my war, then let's make it clear if you're my enemy or my ally. Damn, he's going hard right now.
どっちなんだてめえら
Which is it?
俺の味方かそれとも敵なのか
Are you my allies or my enemies? Mutter, 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 mutter. Listen to the things that come out of this boy's mouth. Young people these days don't know how to be polite. The whole room lit up and started filling with the smell of gunpowder. However, none of my allies let themselves get swept up in the commotion and maintained their harsh stares. Those expressions made me feel as though I had a million supporters behind me. I was standing in front only as a representative. It wasn't my fight alone. This was everyone's fight. Because of that realization, the fierce looks the old people were giving me didn't intimidate me at all.
ケイチ君、
Geichi-kun,
敵とか味方とかじゃないんだよ。
this is not about us being your enemy or not.
確かに村はダム戦争の時にお役所と争った。
Our village fought with these officials during the dam conflict.
そして君の言う通り、ダム戦争はもう関係ない。
However, I do understand that this has nothing to do with that.
あれは終わった過去のことだ。
The dam conflict is a thing of the past.
あんたらの都合なんか聞いてないです
I don't care what you thought about that.
俺と俺の仲間そして聡子の話をしてます
Talking about me, my friends, and Satoko.
ダム戦争の話なんて一言も聞いてない
I never asked about the dam conflict.
あんた耳鼻科行った方がいいぜ
Ever thought of getting your ears checked, old man?
お前、年長者に対してなんて口の利き方だ。
Why you? How can you talk to elders like that?
人生の先輩を何だと心得てるんだ。
You disrespectful little brat.
親の顔が見てみたいな。
I'd like to have a word with your parents. Now this is interesting. Does this end up like coming back and biting him in the ass? Like, he is the new guy, essentially, as far as the village is concerned, right? And for him to come into this thing and try to like disrupt the whole, obviously their festival planning, but the status quo, essentially. But this is our guy Kechi. He's like, I mean, you know, this injustice will not stand. But I would be afraid of us. My dad, standing behind me, gave an apologetic and bitter smile.
失礼。
Pardon me.
こんな顔で恐縮です。
I'm his father, you see.
あんた親だろ。
You're his father?
どういう育て方をしてるんだ。
How could you raise them like this?
私は親としては多分失格の部類に入ります。
I guess I'm not a very good parent. Isn't that right?
圭一をまっすぐに育ててこれたかどうか、胸を張れるかどうかは分かりません。
I'm not sure if I raised Kechi the way I was supposed to. My dad paused. In the next moment, however, his expression changed to a glare.
ただ、前原圭一という一人の男がどうしても腑に落ちないことがあると言ってこれだけの面々を相手に訴えている。
However, a single man known as Kechi Maibara is standing here before all these faces to voice his appeal that something about this doesn't make any sense.
そこには親子関係などない。
I don't care if he's my son or not.
ただ一人の男としての主張があるのみです。
He's only making his assertion as a man.
私の勘はどうだろうと、あまり関係はないかと思いますが。
So I don't think there's really any reason to be talking to me here. Damn. The dad has finally done something good for once in this game. Silence filled the room as the old people sat there with their mouths agape. Oishi-san broke that silence with laughter.
あなた、十分に胸を張ってるじゃないですか。
You've got plenty of pride, don't you? No. The way this is setting up, I hate to keep interrupting here, but like, I feel like the last couple of streams of Higurashi here have been kind of, I don't want to say boring, because it's not boring, but it's been, the action has not been there. It's been very setting up. It's been drawing out this conflict, right? And now we're seeing why. Like, I think we, you know, if we're telling a story, like, it seems like it was an effort to make it so it seems as if, just like how Kechi was trying to deal with the child consultation center and things weren't progressing and moving, and it probably felt for him in the time like slow and unmoving and things weren't happening, and that was causing the problem, so too as us as the reader feel that through him, right? And now, so we've had to deal with that for the last couple of streams where he's just like, nothing's happening, the ball isn't moving, no, the problem is not being solved. And then finally he's had it, he's going to confront the elders in the village, and now, not only just because of this intense music, but like, we're like, finally the payoff is there is what I'm trying to say basically. We're finally, we've entered the conflict. Kechi doesn't care about repercussions. The dad is on is on his son's side, which is great to see. Oishi, the shit stirrer, is gonna stir some shit.
すみません。竜宮レナです。
My name is Rina Ryugu.
質問していいですか？
Can I ask something?
ダム戦争はもう終わってるから、私たちが相談所に訴えちゃいけないという論法がわかりません。
I don't understand the logic of how the dam conflict being over becomes reason we shouldn't make our appeal to the Child Consultation Center.
私たちにもわかるように説明してもらえますか？
Would you explain that to us in detail? Rina's voice remained perfectly level, as though the matter didn't concern her. However, I could see the fury in her eyes. I was probably the only one who noticed that fury. The old people seemed like they'd rather deal with her than me.
レーナちゃん、
Rina-chan.
ダム戦争が終われば 村はお役所と戦う理由は何にもねえんだ。
This village has no reason to fight with the government now that the dam conflict is over.
そりゃ戦争中はいろいろと喧嘩をした。
During that time, we did fight them, true.
でも戦争が終わればそれは水に流せる話なんだ。
But after the conflict was over, that's water under the bridge.
で村はお役所と仲直りをしたんだよ。
So our village reestablished relations with the government.
ひなみ沢は国じゃない。
Inamizawa is not an individual country.
日本の中にあるちっぽけな村だ。
We're just a small village in Japan.
お役所の世話になりながらやっていかなくちゃならない。
The government is taking care of us.
だから村とお役所は仲良くいかなくちゃならねえんだ。
That's why we need to try and get along with them.
そうですね。
You're right.
お役所と仲良くするのは大切なことだと思います。
It is important for a village to have a good relationship with the government. Listen to Rina-chan, she understands us at least. Mybura's boy ought to learn from her. I heard little bits and pieces from the noise of the crowd.
そうだね。
Yeah, that's definitely true.
そんなわけでひなみ沢もお役所との関係を修復しようとダム戦争終結後は協調路線で進めているというわけ。
Namazawa has been trying to fix its relationship with the government ever since the dam conflict ended. Exactly just like Mion-chan had said. It's a quote. The old men cheered. However, Shion was the next to open her mouth.
そんなこんなで今やお役所と村の町会はべったりです。
That's why the town council and the government officials are best friends now.
年に一度の親睦会である町会の温泉旅行にはお役所から世話人が2人も同行します。
In fact, two officials always come along on the town council's annual hot spring trip.
私的同行ということになってますが彼らは出張費をつけて参加してますから立派な公務です。
They get paid to participate too. So wait, let me say this again. That's why the town council and the government officials are best friends now. In fact, two officials always come. Okay.
もちろん旅行代金のほとんどは補助金を交付されてますし
The trip itself is mostly paid for with tax money, isn't it?
他にもいっぱいですよね。
Oh, and I know so many other things.
新年会忘年会の付け届け町会のあらゆる催しに対する膨大な援助金
Like the donations to the New Year and end of year parties, as well as the vast financial aid the town council receives for festivities. I love the the smug smile from Mion as Shion is talking. They both have such good like smug smile faces in their sprites, and then it's just like Shion's talking her shit, and Mion's like, uh-huh.
渡流しだってそうですよ。お役所の補助金助成は数百万。
The upcoming Watanagashi is one of them. The government is putting millions of yen into subsidies and aid.
つまり渡流し開催にかかる経費のほとんどはお役所がお金を出しているようなものです。
They're the ones who pretty much pay for the whole festival.
ダム戦争後渡流しのお祭りとその後の打ち上げは立派に派手になっていく一方
Ever since conflict ended, the festival has been getting bigger and bigger.
その裏側にはお役所からの莫大な補助金があったからなわけです。
That's because we're receiving money from government officials.
だからお役所に嫌われたら渡流しは来年にも幕を閉じるかもしれない。
So if we get in trouble with them, we might not be able to hold a festival next year.
だから今のひなみ沢はお役所に尻尾を振ってるんですよね、おじいちゃん。
That's why Namazawa keeps kissing their asses. Isn't that right, Uncle?
シオンちゃん、
Shion-chan,
お前なんでそんなことまで知ってるんだ。
how do you know all that?
たまーに私がお姉だったりしてますので。
I switch places with my sis sometimes.
なんだなんだ
What the hell?
黙って聞いてりゃ妙な話じゃねえかよ。
That's a ridiculous story.
俺たちのやってることにケチをつける理由ってやつがさっぱり見えてこないぞ。
I still don't understand why you're against what we're trying to do.
レナ、ちょいとまとめてくれないか？
Rina, will you sum this up for me?
つまり何だってんだ？
What are they saying? Well,
つまり要約すると、お役所の人と癒着してるからご機嫌を損ねられないってことなんだろうね。
basically, they're colluding with the government officials, so they can't risk upsetting them. The whole room went into a panic after Rena summed it up so simply. Some of them were ashamed that we hit the nail on the head. Some of them were enraged by our ignorance, and some of them were simply angry about our disrespectful attitudes. All of them combined to throw the room into a chaos of chattering and stomping.
静かに静かに
Be quiet! Be quiet! They all settled down after Kimiyoshi-san raised his voice. By the time they quieted, the mayor had a terrible look on his face.
圭一君、お役所と町会の付き合い方は全く別の問題。
Keiichi-kun, the relationship between the town council and the government officials has nothing to do with this.
議題のすり替えもいいとこだよ。
You're just sidestepping the issue yourself.
そんなこと言ってごちゃごちゃにしても意味がない。
There's no point in mixing the two up together.
いいかい、ひなみ沢はダム戦争の時に大きな勝利を勝ち取ったけど、同時にひなみ沢はトラブルになりやすいというマイナスイメージも強く残したんだ。
Listen, we won our battle against the dam project, but we're all labeled as a nest of troublemakers.
当時はそういうマイナスイメージを逆手に取る戦略を取っていたせいもある。
And yes, we were taking advantage of that image during the conflict.
そしてそれはダム戦争が終わった今となってはひなみ沢にとって大きなマイナスなんだ。
However, now that the conflict is over, that image is working against us badly.
そういうイメージは払拭していかないといけない。
We need to try and repair it.
じゃないと村の未来にとって大きな痛手になっていく長期展望に基づいてるんだよ。
Otherwise, this village will have no future.
わかるかい？
Do you understand?
敵とか味方とかそういう喧嘩の次元な問題じゃないんだよ。
It's not just about being your enemy, it's much deeper than that.
つまりさ、
In other words,
ケイちゃんたちがみんなで盛り上がると、せっかくいい感じになってきた友好的ムードが台無しになってしまうって言ってるわけだね。
you're saying that if Ki-chan rouses everyone to action, then the friendly atmosphere we develop will be ruined? The old people nodded as Mion spoke. They were assuming that Mion was on their side.
みーちゃん、
Mi-chan,
友好的ムードって何？
what do you mean by the friendly atmosphere?
村の子が虐待を受けているのを訴えちゃいけないってことなの？
Does that mean that we shouldn't seek help for a poor, innocent girl who's being abused?
平たく言うと、相談所はしっかり自分たちのペースで頑張ってます。
They're trying to say that the Child Consultation Center is doing their job already.
だから横やりは勘弁してください。
So they want us to stop interfering.
お役所は立場上、横やりをやめろと強く言えない。
Given their position, the officials can't say leave us alone that strongly.
だから普段たくさん助成金を恵んであげてるんだから、そちらの内部で何とかしてくださいと、そういう話です。
So they're asking our village to deal with the matter for them, since they're granting us a lot of subsidies.
なんだ、つまりひなみ沢の町会ってのは役所の犬ってわけだな。
Oh, so what you're saying is the town council is the government's lapdog.
お前、言葉さえ選ばんかい。
Hey, you, watch what you're saying.
なんちゅう口の聞き方なんね。
Be a little more respectful, why don't you?
お前らこそよく言葉を選んで答えろ。
Why don't you watch what you're saying?
まさかとは思うが、聡子が旧敵北条家の娘だからとか、そういうことじゃねえよな。
I hope you're not refusing to help her just because Satoko is the daughter of the Hojo family.
そんなわけはないよ。
That's not it.
さとこちゃんがどうこうと言ってるわけじゃない。
We're not saying anything about Satoko-chan.
もっと対極的な見地から君の陳情を少しこの辺で控えた方がいいんじゃないかって言ってるんだ。
We're just telling you to take a look at the bigger picture and show some more restraint in your appeals.
相談所だって無視してるわけじゃない。
The Child Consultation Center isn't ignoring you.
先日大勢で押しかけた君の熱意に最大限の配慮を払ってくれてるんだぞ。
I'm sure they've taken your huge protest into account.
圭一君の伝えたいことはもう十分に伝わっている。
They already understand your point.
これ以上は何も生み出さない。 やりすぎだとみんな言ってるんだよ。
We're just saying that you're carrying this way too far.
ケイチくん、
Keiichi-kun,
私すっごく面白い読み物を見つけたよ。
I just saw something really interesting.
ほら、あそこに額に入ってる筆字の。
See? Look at what's in that picture frame over there. Rina pointed at the wall, and everyone followed the direction of her finger. There were very many different picture frames all over the walls of the assembly hall. They mostly had to do with the dam conflict and were usually about glorifying the Onigafuchi Guardians. Rina was pointing at a framed article. Kimiyoshi-san wrote it way back when he was the leader of the Guardians during the dam conflict.
特に真ん中が面白いの。
Look at the middle portion there.
平和的かつ民主的な話し合いを求めるも、政府とその傀儡である電源会社総裁はこれを拒否。
We attempted peaceful negotiation, but the government and their marionette, the president of the electric company, declined.
筆舌に尽くしがたい極悪非道をもって村民の民主的運動とひなみ沢の強度を踏みにじったのである。
They trampled on our village's democratic movement and our native land with indescribable atrocities.
み
Meep.
君吉がダム戦争の戦勝記念に書いたものなのです。
That's what Kimiyoshi wrote for the dam conflict memorial.
記念碑にも書いてありますですよ。
He wrote the same thing on the monument, too. Everyone knew why Rina had brought that up. I could hear them all gulping.
平和的な話し合いを求めるも、政府とその傀儡である電源会社総裁。
They attempted to negotiate peacefully with the government and its marionette, the electric company.
ってなんだこれ。
What's this?
その電源会社ってとこ、ひなみ沢町会の間違いじゃねえのか。
Are you sure they don't mean the Hinamizawa Town Council instead of the electric company?
しかし傀儡って難しい単語だよな。ここにいる連中も意味が分かってねえんじゃないか。
Still, marionette is a difficult term. You think the people understand what that means?
誰か説明してやってくれよ。
Could someone explain it to me? I love how sarcastic he's being.
傀儡は本来操り人形のことです。
A marionette is like a puppet.
転じて形式上は独立した団体でありながら、ある特定の団体の言いなりになっている状態を指す言葉として使われます。
It means that while they're supposed to be an independent organization, they're actually being controlled as though they're dancing on strings.
あれ、なんだかひなみ沢にぴったりっぽい言葉ですよね、おね。
Oh, that sounds like the perfect word to describe Hinamizawa right now.
うん、確かにね。
Yeah, that is perfect.
何じゃ。
What are you saying?
そんなんで傀儡なんて言われたら、局長も思いやりもなくなっちまうじゃないのよ。
We're not their marionette. We're just trying to cooperate with them.
そういうのは傀儡なんて言わん。へりくつっちゅうんよ。
Calling us a puppet is just splitting hairs.
お前らがさっき返事したぞ。
But that's what you just stated.
俺らにやめろっていうのはサトコとは関係ない。村の問題だってさっきはっきり返事したぞ。
You clearly told us that you want us to stop, not because of Satoko, but for the sake of the village.
村の問題ってのは村と役所の友好的な関係のことだともさっき言ったよな。
You said there's an issue because the village needs to maintain a friendly relationship with the government.
今さら記憶にねえとか言うんじゃねえぞ。
Don't tell me that you didn't say exactly that.
確かに言った。
You did say it,
なあ。
didn't you?
聞いた。
I heard him.
さとこちゃんと無関係な理由だと言った。
He said it had nothing to do with Satoko-chan.
ミオン。
Mion,
確かひなみ沢には一人のために全体で団結しようっていうのがあるんじゃなかったのか。
I thought there was a saying in this village. Something about how the whole village comes together for one villager.
一人に石を投げられたら二人で石を投げ返せ。
If there's one person coming, two should throw rocks at him.
二人に石を投げられたら四人で石を。
If there are two, four would do so.
8人に棒で追われたら16人で追い返せ。
If there are 8, 16 would fight back.
そして1000人が敵ならば村すべてで立ち向かえ。
If there's 1,000, the whole village should stand up and fight. Chills.
一人が受けた屈辱は全員が受けたものと思え。
If one person is abused, the whole village is abused.
一人の村人のために全員が結束せよ。
We all work together for that one villager.
それこそ盤石な死守同盟の結束なり。
That's the unity of the Guardians.
同盟の結束は岩より固く、水を通さないダムすらも通さない。
The unity of the Guardians is stronger than rock.
終わりの方の部分は当時の同盟会長さんが作った部分だったと思います。
That's what their leader said back in the day. Mayor Kimiyoshi used to be the head of the Onigafuchi Guardians. He crossed his arms and started groaning. There were many things he wanted to say, but he knew that none of them would make him look good. And so he continued to stay silent.
俺はここに引っ越してきてからミオンやシオンなんかにダム戦争の時の勇ましい話をたくさん聞かされてます。
When I moved here, Mion and Shion told me the valiant story of the dam conflict.
でもそれはダム戦争の時から始まった5年程度の付け焼き場の団結じゃない。
But that unity didn't start just a few years ago when the dam conflict happened.
戦争が終わってからの辛い時代を乗り越えるために育まれた40年以上にもわたる熱い伝統なんです。
I believe those traditions have been here for over 40 years, ever since Japan lost the war.
だから俺はその時代から団結を育んできた人たちがすげえと思うし尊敬できると思う。
That's why I really respect those who fostered the unity here since that era, and I find them incredible.
そして何よりここの額縁に飾られている死守同盟の男たちの勇ましさが素晴らしいと思う。
And more than anything, I'm impressed by the courage the Onigafuchi Guardians displayed here in this picture frame.
当時はひなみ沢をダム湖に沈めようと政府はあらゆる手で嫌がらせをしてきた。
Government tried to pull many dirty tricks to submerge this village under the water,
でもそれを全部跳ね返した。
but the Guardians thwarted every one of them.
そんな男たちが戦ったから今のひなみ沢がある。
Because of the efforts of those men, Hinamizawa is still here today.
いなかったら今頃ここは固定だ。
If they hadn't done anything, we'd be at the bottom of a lake right now.
だからこうして自然の美しさと村人の団結を誇れる村が今にあることを感謝したい。
So I'm grateful that this village still exists, with its proud unity and beautiful scenery.
そしてそんなひなみ沢に住めることを誇りにしたい。
I'm proud to call myself a resident of Hinamizawa.
その通りだ。
That's damn right! Someone shouted. It wasn't one of my friends. It was one of the elderly villagers.
だから俺たちは
That's why we fight.
そんなひなみ沢に住んでいるからこそそれを見習わずにはいられないんです。
We fight because we all live together in this village.
一人に石を投げられたら二人で石を投げ返せ。
If there's one person coming, two should throw rocks at him.
二人に石を投げられたら4人で石を。
If there are two, four would do so.
8人に棒で追われたら16人で追い返せ。
If there are eight, 16 would fight back.
そして1000人が敵ならば村すべてで立ち向かえ。
If there's 1,000, the whole village should stand up and fight.
一人が受けた屈辱は全員が受けたものと思え。
If one person is abused, the whole village is abused.
一人の村人のために全員が結束せよ。
Get together for one villager.
それこそ盤石な死守同盟の結束なり。
That's the unity of the Guardians.
北条聡子は村の一員だ。
Satoko Hojo is one of us.
そしてあのおじの野郎がどんなひどいやつかは俺よりみんなの方がよく知っているはずだ。
You all know how horrible our uncle is.
のんびりと1ヶ月以上も様子を見てから保護なんてのじゃ間に合わないんだ。
You all know that we can't leave her alone with him for a whole month.
今すぐにもおじの元から救い出せなくてはならない。
We need to save her from her uncle right this minute.
だから主導名の力をもう一度貸してほしい。
We need the power of the Guardians one more time.
解散した主導名の魂をもう一度結集させてほしい。
We need the spirits of the Guardians to reunite again. Rina and Mion applauded, and the applause quickly spread to everyone. I saw smiles creeping across the faces of the old people. However, they quickly wiped away those smiles and started discussing with their neighbors.
確かに圭一君の言う通りだ。
Keiichi-kun is right.
役所の言いなりなんてひなみ沢らしくないぞ。
It's not like Hinamizawa has to obey the government all the time.
でもダム戦争はもう終わったんだぞ。
But the dam conflict is over now.
役所にもいろいろ世話になってるし。
The government officials are taking care of us too.
知らんかったよ。
I wasn't aware of that.
うちの町会はそんなに役所に便宜を図ってらっとんか。
Are they really supporting us that much?
いや、そもそも私は個人的には前原の坊主の言うのは正しいと思うんです。
Well, on a personal level, I agree with what Mybara's boy is saying.
俺は教会のやり方は好かんな。
I can't approve of how the town council's operating.
ケイチ君は正しい。
Keiichi-kun is right.
役所の言いなりで圧力をかけるなんてみっともない。
The village can't put pressure on him just because the government is telling us to do so.
三茶、
Mr. Mayor,
前原君に協力できんまでにも自粛を求めるのはわしらの本質ではない気がするな。
we might not be able to support Keiichi-kun, but I also don't think we have the right to tell him to stop.
俺は前原の坊主が言うのは気に入らん。
I don't like this Mybara boy's attitude.
年長者への礼儀を欠きすぎてる。
He's way too disrespectful.
だいたいおめえ、そんな口の利き方でまかり通ると思ったんか。
You think you can get away with talking to us like that? 3 scary old guys came up to yell at me. I raised my own voice and yelled right back in their faces.
口の利き方の問題じゃない。
It's not about my attitude.
魂の問題だ。
It's about the soul of this village.
村の一員のために立ち上がれない腰抜けは引っ込んでろ。
Get out of here if you don't have the courage to stand up for one innocent villager.
何を言うか生意気だ。
But why do you speak to me like that way? Thwack. The big old guy smacked me upside the head.
何をしやがる。
Damn, it's getting physical. What do you think you're doing? Thwack. I hit him right back and the room went into a panic again. Oh no. Rena approached us. I thought she'd come to stop me, but she suddenly hit the old guy in the head too.
No.
Elder abuse. What?
何をするんか。
What are you doing?
女だと思って手加減されると思うな。
Don't think you could get away with this just because you're a girl. He thwacked Rena upside the head. However, Rena talked back to him with a firm look in her eyes.
一人が叩かれたら二人で叩き返そう。
If one comes at you, two should fight back.
それがひなみ沢の魂じゃなかったっけ？
Isn't that the spirit of Hinamizawa?
そしてレナさんを叩くというならこちらは4人でお相手しなくてはなりませんね。
Since you hit Rena-san, 4 of us need to retaliate.
私も立ちましょう。
Let me in on this.
ケイチ、
Keiichi,
父さんも立つぞ。
your father's going to fight too.
お前の言うのは正しい。
Everything you said is right.
それを暴力で潰そうというなら、父さんはお前の敵に容赦をしない。
If they're going to try and stop you with violence, I won't turn a blind eye to that.
圭一の前に立ちふさがっているのは3人のようなのです。
There are 3 people blocking Keiichi's way.
ならこちらは6人立たないといけませんです。
We need 6 people to fight them.
リカちゃま。
Rika-chama.
リカちゃまにしては威勢がいいじゃないですか。
I'm impressed to see that courage of yours, Rika-chama.
私も付き合いますよ。
Let me in too.
私も前原くんに味方させていただきます。
I too will be taking his side. Chie-sensei stood up. I thought she had given up under all the pressure.
対極的な見地という言葉に私は生徒を見殺しにするところでした。
I was almost going to neglect my student.
生徒のためにはこの身など惜しくないと思っていながら私は自分の微妙な立場を優先してしまった。
I prioritized myself, even though I thought I could do anything for them.
自分を恥じます。
I'm ashamed to call myself a teacher. Wearing a fierce expression, she stared at the mayor. That was her answer to the pressure he tried to put on her.
知恵先生。
Chie-sensei.
確かに教育者として行き過ぎた行動もあったかと思います。
I think that I overstepped my bounds as an educator.
ですが、さとこちゃんを救おうとする前原くんのやっていることはとても正しいことです。
However, what Mybara-kun is doing is the right thing.
私は教育者として正しい行いは正しいと認めてあげなくてはならない。
As an educator, I have to acknowledge the fact that he's doing something right.
だから前原くんにもうやめてくださいなんて言えないんです。
I can no longer tell him to stop.
先生のお墨付きまでもらえりゃもう誰にもはばかられることはねえ。
If I have your support, Chie-sensei, then I have nothing to fear.
さてもう一度全員に聞くぜ。
Let me ask you people one more time.
お役所との馴れ合いと 村の一員を助けるのとどっちが大事かはっきりとさせろ。
Is it more important to stay cozy with the officials than it is to save the life of one poor, innocent villager?
聞くまでもないよ、ケイちゃん。
You don't even need to ask them, Ki-chan.
ここはただの集会所じゃない。
This is no ordinary assembly hall.
元は鬼ヶ淵死守同盟の本部事務所だった。
This used to be the headquarters of the Onigafuchi Guardians.
そしてここにいるのは同盟当時の幹部ばかり。
People here were all members of the Guardians once.
死守同盟の魂を忘れた人間がこの元事務所の敷居をまたげるわけがない。
Nobody without their spirit would ever come to a place like this.
ミオンちゃん。
Mion-chan.
村長、
Mr. Mayor?
ケイちゃんのやっていることはひなみ沢の魂を体現してる。
Ki-chan's actions are embodying the spirit of Hinamizawa.
あらゆる逆風にくじけず戦おうとする姿勢は鬼ヶ淵死守同盟の心意気そのもの。
The way he's trying to fight without fear is exactly what the Onigafuchi Guardians were doing.
私は懲戒名で彼の陳情に自粛を求めるのは恥ずかしい真似だと思う。
I think it's shameful for this town council to tell him to stop.
それでもなお自粛を求めるなら、
If you're still going to ask him to back off,
私は今この場で死守同盟の記念写真の額縁をすべて割り、同盟旗を焼き捨てる。
I'm going to smash all these pictures on the wall and set fire to the flag of the Guardians. Damn. Sorry, I had to get that. While the mayor did nothing but moan, somebody else raised his voice.
わしは前原君を支持するぞ。
I'm going to support Maibara-kun.
口は悪いが魂は間違ってない。
He may be disrespectful, but he has the right spirit.
同感。
I agree.
役所と対等に渡り合うならともかく慣れ合いなんて恥ずかしいぞまったく。
It's pathetic the way we're colluding with these government officials.
圭一君、気にすることなんかないぞ。よりより。
Keshi-kun, don't worry about what anyone else thinks. Keep on fighting.
圧力なんかに屈するな。
Don't give in to the pressure. The assembly hall instantly filled with a great round of applause.
前原君、せっかくだから状況がどんな感じか説明してくれ。
Maibara-kun, tell us what's going on so far.
はい。
Very well.
聡子が叔父に誘拐同然に連れ戻された初日にすぐ千恵先生が北条家を訪問。
On the day Satoko was kidnapped by her uncle, Chie-sensei visited her house.
ですが面会を拒絶され明らかに異常な状況となりました。
However, he refused to let Chie see her, and it was obvious that something unusual was going on.
千恵先生は生徒の安全第一ですぐに相談所へ連絡しました。
Chie-sensei called the child consultation center right after that.
その晩、相談所の人間が訪問して聞き取りをしましたが、
That night, a social worker visited her house.
虐待の事実なし、当分は様子見との判断が出ました。
However, they determined that there was no abuse going on, and they put her case on hold.
慎重な対応だとは思いますが、あの叔父の暴力性を相談所は適切に認識しているとは思えません。
This might be a normal way to handle the situation, but they don't know how dangerous that uncle is.
そのため、ケイちゃんを代表に翌日、5名で相談所に行き、緊急性と即時対応を求めました。
Oh, how annoying. Okay, one sec, sorry. I gotta fix something here. Okay. Sorry, I had to fix that. For that reason, the five of us went to the child consultation center to let them know how urgent it was that she be rescued.
でも慎重に様子を見たいと言って取り合ってもらえませんでした。
They said they'd take that into consideration, but they still didn't take action after that.
それで私たちは5人ではアピールが足りなかったと思い、翌日にはクラス全体の20人以上で押しかけました。
We thought 5 of us was not enough, so the next day, we went there along with more than 20 of our classmates.
よくクラス全部をまとめたな。
You took the whole class.
歴史に残るケイちゃんの名演説がありました。
Kei-chan gave a very moving speech.
仲間を救え、見殺しにするなって。もうみんな盛り上がっちゃって。
He told them that they had to save their friend and not abandon her.
ケイちゃんがダム戦争の時にいたら、運動はもっと盛り上がって、もう1年は早くダムを頓挫できたかもです。
If he was here during the dam conflict, I'm sure his charisma could have resolved it a year earlier.
確かに前原の坊主の威勢の良さならわかるな。
We all know too well how spirited this lad is.
でも2日目もそれほど熱心に聞いてはもらえませんでした。
Consultation Center was still not willing to listen to us on the second day.
ほとんど効果なし。
We made almost no progress.
慎重に対応するの一点張りです。
All they told us was that they were working on it.
いや、圭一君。
No, Keiichi-kun.
効果はかなりあったんだぞ。
You did make progress.
だってそれで役所はビビって自治を経由して町会に様子を伺ってきたんだもんな。
They were so intimidated they asked someone from the local government to check on our town council.
圧力がかかり始めたってことは、圭一君の圧力に向こうが値を上げ始めた証拠でもあるからな。
The fact that they tried to pressure us to stop meant that what you did was working.
効果は出てるぞ。
You made progress. I see. Guess you could look at it like that. If they weren't scared of us, they wouldn't have acted that way.
それで3日目の今日は友達や知り合いにみんな声をかけて60人の規模で押しかけました。
On the third day, we called all of our friends and gathered 60 people.
今度は相談所の所長が直接話を聞いてくれました。
This time, we got to meet the head of the office.
耳を傾けてくれたとは思うのですが、対応をどうするかは即答を避けられました。
He listened to us, but he didn't say what their decision would be.
圭一君、実はな。
Keiichi-kun, to tell you the truth.
その時には町会と話がついていて、町会側は前原君に自粛を要請することになってたんだ。
At that point, the council had already spoken to the officials and had made our decision to stop you.
相談所側は裏に村の後ろ盾がないことを確認して、君たちの陳情は聞き流すってことになってたはずだ。
After the Child Consultation Center confirmed that the whole village wasn't involved in the protest, they decided to just ignore your appeal.
そうでしょうね。
That's what I thought.
先方の受け答えからそんな雰囲気を感じてました。
I could feel that from the way the head of the office treated us.
裏ですでに決着がついているから、この場だけやり過ごそうという雰囲気が少し見え隠れしていましたので。
It was obvious that they were just trying to get it over with.
明日ももちろん訴えに行くつもりだけど、
We're planning to
話
go.
を聞いてもらえるのかな。
We're planning to go there tomorrow too, but I wonder if they'll even pretend to listen.
だって相談所は村の内部で話をつけてもらえたものと思ってるから、私たちを相手にしないだろうね。
They may not even let us in because they think the village is pressuring us to stop.
ですね。
Yeah,
町会は自分たちの味方だと思っていますから。
they think that the village is on their side.
町会は圭一を支持することを明確にしてくれないと困りますです。
The village needs to publicly announce that they're supporting Keiichi.
ですね。
I agree.
そうでないと今後の陳情が門前払いにされてしまいます。
Otherwise, they definitely won't listen to us again.
いいじゃないか村長。
Oh, you should do that.
前原君のやってることに町会は関与しないってはっきり言ってやれ。
We should tell them that Hinamizawa is not going to stop Maibara-kun from what he's doing.
そりゃな、私も個人的には圭一君に文句をつけたくはないんだが。
Personally, I don't want to complain about Keiichi-kun's actions.
町会としての立場だと微妙だな。
However, it's complicated when I think about it from the town council's point of view.
たとえ中立の宣言にしたって、現在の状況では圭一君に肩入れするのと同じ状況だ。
Even if we tell them that we're not on either side, they'll think that we're on his side.
それは支持表明と変わらない。
That's tantamount to picking a fight with them.
だがな、町会の総意を図らないとな。
But I still have to respect the opinion of the council, too.
私一人じゃ決められん。
I can't just decide this on my own.
役員全員の一致を取り付けんとな。
I need to get approval from all the council members.
今日のメンバーで役員の大方は揃ってますよ、おじいちゃん。
Most of them are here right now.
とは言ってもな。
So you say, but...
もうこの際腹を割りましょう。
Let's just be honest here.
北条家の娘に肩入れをすることを気に入らない人がいるかもしれないって恐れてるんじゃないんですか？
You're afraid that there are some among you who are against saving the daughter of the Hojo family, aren't you? The whole room sunk into silence. That was the heart of the matter.
誰もがダム戦争はもう終わったと思ってる。
Everyone thinks that the dam conflict is over.
それはさっき皆さんが俺に言いました。
You all told us that a few minutes ago.
そして終結と同時に北条家に対する村八分も終わってもいいと思ってる。
You also think that there's no need to discriminate against the Hojo family now that everything is said and done.
ところがそれだけがダラダラと続いちゃってるところがあるんじゃないですか？
However, you're still afraid for family.
北条家の人間と接触があると囁かれると、村の中でどんな噂が立てられるかわからないという怯えは皆さんの中に未だあるはずです。
You're afraid that you'll be badmouthed if you interact with the Hojo family.
さとこちゃんのご両親は確かに立ち退き派のリーダーだったかもしれないけど、さとこちゃんにどんな罪があるんですか？
Satoko-chan's parents are indeed the leaders of the evacuation supporters. But what crime did Satoko-chan herself commit?
わしは別にさとこちゃん個人はどうとも思ってないぞ。
Personally, I don't have anything against her.
で、他の人が。
But other people do.
いや、俺もどうとも思ってないよ。
I don't have anything against her either.
ダム戦争はもう終わってるし、事故ってことである種のけじめもついてるだろう。
Conflict is over and her parents also passed away.
俺もどうとも思ってないよ。
I don't hate her either.
でも毛嫌いしてる人も未だにいるみたいだしな。
But I know there are some people who still do, yeah.
私から一言言います。
Let me ask you this.
さとこのことが嫌いな人は手を挙げてください。
If you hate Satoko, please raise your hand.
多分いないはずです。
I'm sure no one will.
なのに誰もが北条家のさとこに関わると後ろ指を刺されると信じてる。
Yet you all still believe that interacting with her will make others speak ill of you.
ところがですね、
However,
いないんですよ。
however, no one's going to.
そんな人は。
There's nobody like that.
いや、いないなんてことはないぞ。
No, that can't be true.
いるよ、そういう人は。
There's one person at least.
なら名前を教えてください。
And tell me who it is.
友達の友達から聞いたなんて話はなしで。
Tell me who told you directly that they hate Satoko. The room fell silent again. It had become obvious that they were all avoiding Satoko because of a huge misunderstanding.
このままだと俺たちが何をやっても相談所は聞いてくれません。
The Child Consultation Center won't do anything, no matter what we do.
町会が味方してくれてると思ってますから。
They're convinced that the town council is on their side.
だから俺たちは町会が立場をはっきりしてくれなければ戦いを続けられない。
We won't be able to fight until the council makes it clear that they're not supporting them.
君吉、
Kimiyoshi?
ひょっとしてある人の許しが欲しいのではないですか？
By any chance, do you need approval from someone?
あいたたたた。
Ouch!
リカちゃまは痛いところをつくね。
You're right on the money with that one. The mayor forced out a smile. I had no idea what Rika-chan was talking about, but she must have hit the nail on the head. Who could it be, though? Who was that someone? If I could persuade them, the village would end up supporting us. I mean...
ひょっとして鬼ババ？
Are you talking about my hag of a grandmother?
君吉家としては北条家の遺恨はもう水に流したつもりだ。
The Kimiyoshi family has forgiven the Hojo family.
古出家もそうだね。
The Furude family has done the same, right?
ね
Me?
え、僕も御三家の当主なのです。
I'm one of the leaders of the three families too. Hinamizawa is thank you, Rika. Hinamizawa has three powerful families who make all decisions for the village. That's been a tradition since the time of Onikafuchi village. It's kind of an old tradition, but this was a road we couldn't avoid.
となると、あとは園崎家の当主だけってことになるな。
So all we need is approval from the Sonozaki family.
御三家で一番でかくて、実際は牛耳ってるって聞いてるんだが。
I've heard that they have the most power among the three. Everyone knew that, but it was taboo to speak it. It's something only I could say since I didn't have the ties they did.
ということは、みーちゃんのおばあちゃんも説得できれば、ひなみ沢の町会は私たちを支持するとはっきり表明してくれる？
If we can persuade Mi-chan's grandmother, will the town council support us?
どうなんだい、みおんちゃん。
What do you think, Mion-chan?
まあそりゃあ私もバッチャと喧嘩なんかしたくないです。
I don't want to fight with Granny.
ですがバッチャ以外が全部決着しててバッチャ一人だけの問題で聡子が救えるってんなら戦います。
But if she's standing between Satoko and safety, I'll have to.
園崎家の次期当主だからじゃない。
I won't be fighting as the next head of the family.
聡子という部員を持つ我が部の部長としてクラスの委員長として友人として戦います。
She keep getting me there. I'll be fighting as Satoko's friend.
村長さん、
Kimiyoshi-san,
約束してくれ。
please promise.
ミオンのばあさんを説得できたら、町会は俺たちを支持してくれるんだな。
If we persuade Mion's grandmother, will we have the council support?
そりゃもちろんさ。
Of course.
御三家当主の統一見解なら、町会は誰も文句は言わないよ。
No one would complain if it was the decision of the three families.
要約すると、ここにいる連中はみんなミオンのばあさんが怖いから嫌だって言ってるわけだな。
Let me get this straight. You're all refusing to help because you're afraid of Mion's grandmother, right?
いい年して情けない連中だぜ、まったく。
You're all grown adults. Good grief.
いや、そうは言うがな、前原の坊主。
That's what you say.
お嬢さんは怖いぞ。
But isn't Oryu-san terrifying?
そんなことないよ。
That's not true.
レナはみーちゃんのおばあちゃんはよく知ってる。
I know Mi-chan's grandmother very well.
もちろん怖いところもよく知ってるけど、それでも大したことないね。
Sure, she has a scary side, but she's not that bad.
怒った圭一くんの方がその倍は怖いから。
Keiichi-kun is scarier than her when he's angry.
怒ったレナはその俺の倍怖いけどな。
Yeah, and Rina's even scarier than me.
よし、わかった。
Alright,
俺たちがミオンのばあさんを説得する。
I'm going to persuade Mion's grandmother.
そしたら町会は俺を支持してくれ。
Support us when we succeed.
いや、支持なんて生ぬるいぜ。ここまでバチバチやり合ったんだ。
Actually, don't just quietly support us either.
いっそ徹底的に協力してもらうぜ。
I'm expecting you guys to take action too.
協力ってなんだよ。
What do you mean by that?
鬼ヶ淵死守同盟が再結集して戦おうと言うんです。
We want the Onigafuchi Guardians to reunite.
仮にも同盟の名を持つ抗議運動を子供たちだけに任せるおつもりですか？
Are you gonna let us kids do all the protesting?
わしらも出るってことか？
You want us to protest too?
さすがにそこまでは。
We can't do that.
いや、当然だろ。
We should do that.
役所にうちは敵に回るって宣言するんだぞ。
We're going to tell those officials that we're going to fight against them.
やるならとことんだ。
We need to do everything we can.
ひなみ沢連合町会名で圭一君を支持することになれば、町会は態度をはっきりさせる必要がある。
If we're going to support Keiichi-kun on behalf of the whole village, we need to make things clear to them.
それに支持を表明して協力はしないでは筋が通らん。
We have to support these kids if we're going to be on their side.
町会が支持を表明した段階で 前原君たちの戦いじゃない。
Once we decide to do that, it's no longer just Myber-kun's fight.
町会全体の戦いになるぞ。
It'll be the village's fight too.
そうなれば代表は村長だろう。
In that case, you should be our leader, Kimiyoshi-san.
村長が自ら役所に抗議しなきゃ示しがつかん。
There's no way the mayor shouldn't participate in the protest.
わかったわかった。
Alright, I got it already.
お嬢さんが納得してくれれば私は男だ。
If Oryu-san gives us her approval, I'll act like a man.
ケイチ君に力を貸してやる。
I'll help Kechi-kun.
今日ここに集まってる町会の諸君もそれでいいな。
Does everyone here agree?
おう。
Aye.
でもお龍を説得するのは圭一任せなのですよ。
But you're not going to help him persuade Oryu-san?
ええ、わかったよわかったよ。
Fine.
お嬢さんの説得には私も同行するよ。
I'll come with him to persuade Oryu-san.
ケイチ君の話し方はちょっと若者っぽすぎるからな。
The way he talks might be too immature for her.
お嬢さんにはお嬢さん用の年寄り言葉で話せる人間が必要だろう。
She needs someone who can talk like an old person.
今日はひどいことばかり言ってすみませんでした。
I'm sorry for being so disrespectful today.
皆さん申し訳ありませんでした。
I really have to apologize, everyone.
いや、
Don't worry.
君はいいことを言ったぞ。
You said some good things.
町会の癒着を見事バッサリだ。
You broke up the collusion in one fell stroke.
圧力になんか屈しないその姿はひなみ沢の誇りだぞ。
Your refusal to cave under the pressure is the very pride of Inamizawa itself.
さっきは叩いてすまんかった。
I'm sorry for hitting you.
頭に血が上って申し訳ない。
I got pretty riled up.
いえ、こっちこそすみませんでした。
No, that was my fault.
シエ先生もよく言った。
You did a good job too, Chie-sensei. Oh, look at Chie-sensei getting her fucking flowers, dude.
あんたは立派な先生だ。
You're a wonderful teacher.
しかし、北条家いじめをしてる奴らってまだいるんだな。
I really didn't know that some people were still bitter toward the Hojo family.
というか、おりょうさんが特に嫌ってるんだよな。
Probably, Oryu-san is the most bitter of anybody. However, according to Mion, Oryu-san doesn't hate the Hojo family either. Really, the whole thing was ridiculous. No.
前原さん。
Good for you,
なか
Mybers.
なかやりますね。
Good for you, Mybers-san.
まさか町会を味方につけるとは。
I never thought you'd get the town council on your side.
いえ、まだ味方になってくれたわけじゃありませんよ。
No, I don't have them on my side just yet.
ミヨンのばあさんを説得するという条件付きです。
I need to persuade Mion's grandmother first.
おりょうさんは確かに独裁的な立場ですが、町会の支持を失うリスクは犯せません。
Oryu-san is like a dictator around here, but she won't do anything that would make her lose the trust of the villagers.
その町会の事前調整がついているというのであれば、園崎家だけの立場で反対は難しいでしょう。
If you've already settled things with the town council, then it'll be hard for the Sonozakis to oppose you alone.
いやいや、実に交渉がお上手です。
You're such a great negotiator.
特に最初にこけ下ろして途中から持ち上げるのがうまい。
You insulted them at the start, but then you gradually buttered them up.
ああ、いえ、親父の美術史のコラムっぽくやってみただけです。
I did it the way my dad writes articles for his art magazine.
親父のコラムってそんな感じだし。
That's the same style he uses.
ほ
ほほ
前原さんのお父さんはなかなか息子さんにいい背中を見せられているようですね。
Your father set a good example for you, huh?
画家さんなんですよね。
He's an artist, isn't he?
ぜひ 今度私にも絵を見せてください。
I'd love to see his work someday.
いやー
Well, my dad doesn't even let me see his work. Guess he can't show it to him either. What kind of dirty pictures is he drawing? The fuck?
じゃあ明日の晩お嬢さんのところへお伺いしよう。
Well then, let's go and see Oryu-san tomorrow night.
さすがに今晩すぐにはまずい。
We can't go right away.
お嬢さんは機嫌を悪くすると数字の通った話も聞いてくれなくなるからな。
Once she gets into a bad mood, she'll never listen to us.
行くのは私村長。
I'll be coming along too.
それから誰？
Who else is going?
もちろん私も行きます。
I'm coming too.
レナさんも行くって。
Rina-san's also coming.
おとなしく頭を縦に振らなかったら頭を叩き割るそうです。
She said she'd cleave her head apart if she doesn't nod it for us. Okay.
はあ、そんなことしないよ。
How? I'm not going to do that.
しーちゃんひどい。
Don't be mean, Shi-chan.
ケイチ、僕も行きますです。
I'm going too, Kechi.
お寮に行ってやりますです。
I'll talk to Oryu myself.
そうかそうか。
I see, I see.
言ってやれ言ってやれ。
Give her a piece of your mind.
もちろん俺も言ってやるぞ。
Of course, I plan to myself as well.
私もなんとか時間を作ります。
Man, it would be very funny if this was all like building up like this. And then like they go to meet Oryu and she's just like, yeah, I don't give a shit. Fine, you don't have to ask me twice. Like, fuck it. I don't care. Like all this build up and then it just like it's no big deal. Iri says, I'll try and be there too.
いるだけでも力になれることはあると思いますので。
I might be able to help just by being around.
さて、面白くなってきました。
This sure is getting interesting.
で、お姉、大馬場さんとやり合う覚悟はあります？
Are you ready to defeat that evil hag, sis?
本音から言うと、明日は入れ替わってほしいかな。
To be honest, I wish you'd swap with me tomorrow.
ケイチくん、なんだか話が一気に大きくなってきたね。
Keiichi-kun, you've made great progress today.
ああ。
Yeah.
人の力ってのは集まれば集まるほどに強くなる。
The more people we have on our side, the stronger we become.
ひなみ沢全体が連帯すれば、サトコなんてすぐに救い出せるぞ。
We could save Satoko if the whole village gets together.
何しろ、国とやり合ってへこませた連中なんだからな。
This village once won against the national government, after all. The old people seemed proud to hear me talk about the dam conflict. Everyone started talking about all the heroic things they did back then.
サトコは救えないという運命の袋小路が今まさに破られそうな気がする。
I thought we could never save Satoko, but that fate is reaching its end.
これほどまでに圧倒的なのね。
The power we have right now is overwhelming.
運命を打ち破る力というのは今回はいけるかもしれないなんていうちょっとの幸運の重なりなんかとは比べ物にならないくらいに圧倒的なのね。
The power to defeat fate is far stronger than the mere chance alignment of a few coincidences. Great. Drag just a little bit, but I understand. They have to set up. They gotta set it up. Alright, the next evening, we were all gathered at the Sonozaki residence. I thought we'd be talking with Mion's grandma over tea or something. However, it wasn't so relaxed a situation as that. Mion's grandma stayed in her futon. She was propped up against a huge cushion, and it made me feel like I was about to talk to a queen. That wasn't the only thing either. There were about 5 members of the Sonozaki family surrounding her, as though I was at some kind of Yakuza gathering. Yes, this wasn't just any old town council meeting. It was a meeting of the three families. I kind of felt as though I didn't belong, but I also didn't have the time to be afraid. If I could persuade this lady, I could get help from the villagers.
そんなわけなんだ。
So that's the situation.
町会がこのままの立場を崩さないと、圭一君が今後何を訴えても向こうは聞いてくれない。
If the town council doesn't change their current stance, then no matter what Keiichi-kun says past this point, the center won't listen to him.
町会は最低でも中立を宣言しないとならんと思うんだが。
At the very least, town council needs to declare their neutrality. The mayor was the first to speak. The old woman looked very grave. Couldn't tell if she always wore an expression like that or if the story made her look that way. She made a comment in a very low voice to her people. The lady wearing a kimono spoke for her instead. She must be Mion's mother.
沖宮の生活相談所に不手際があったならともかく、正規の手順で対応しています。
Child Consultation Center is simply doing their job.
それどころか、圭一君の熱意を理解し、汲み取る旨も約束してくれています。
They understand how much you care about her, and they're going to take your appeal into consideration.
その状況で、町会にはどういう不満があるのでしょうか。
What more are you expecting from them?
母さん、
Mom,
そこは私から説明する。
let me explain this to you.
聡子のおじはとんでもないゴロつきなんだよ。
Satoga's uncle is a horrible man.
去年も聡子に暴力を振るってるし、愛人に捨てられたと思ってひなみ沢に帰ってきた不機嫌なおじにとっては、それはさらにひどいものだと容易に想像がつく。
He regularly beat Satoko last year, and I'm sure he's even worse this time around because of his lover up and abandoning him.
葛西、調べてくれたんだよね。
Didn't you investigate him, Kasai?
北条哲平のこと。
Teppei Hojo, I mean.
一応、茜さんにはお伝えしてあります。
I did make such a report to Akane-san.
母さん、つまりはそういうこと。
You see, Mom?
のんびり任せてたら、多分助けてくれるのは数ヶ月も後だよ。
If we let the Child Consultation Center take care of this, it'll take months for them to save Satoko.
私は聡子が苦しんでるのを数ヶ月も放っておけない。
I can't let her stay with that jerk for that long.
数ヶ月で死ぬわけじゃなぎゃ。
She's not going to die.
そんくらいでギャーギャーと想像しんね。
Stop making such a big fuss over this. The old lady finally spoke, but she didn't have anything pleasant to say.
そりゃ死ぬまではいかないかもしれないけど。
She might not die, but...
ならギャーギャー言うな、アホらしい。
Then shut up, you idiot.
すったら息にもかけんとやかんよ言うね。
Worse, you're not even willing to risk your own life over this.
根性が足りんわだ。
Grow a backbone, you twit.
なんばしようとかすったらくだらねえ。
What nonsense.
だーっと聞いとんくだらんわ。
The more I listen, the more nonsense I hear. Wow. So that's why the whole village is afraid of her. This is Oryu Sonozaki, known variously as the Hag or Empress Sonozaki.
おりょう、
Oryu.
聡子は僕の友達なのです。
Sorry, I was adjusting the light there. Satoko is my friend.
助けてあげてほしいのです。
I want you to save her.
リカちゃまいつも言うとん。
Rika-chama, remember what I've told you all this time?
友達は選ばんとね。
You have to choose your friends carefully.
あんな北条のクソガキなんざバチ当たりも。しゃあがねっちゅう言うたんだら。
That girl is a demon child of the Hojo family.
エリエの先生まで。
Gosh, she's so pleasant.
揃えたからになんでまったく。
I'm disappointed in you too, Dr. Irie.
あんた、いい年してなんでまったく。
Aren't you?
これが恩にあだっちゅうつもかいね。
Aren't you old enough to realize what you're doing?
聡子ちゃんは北条家の娘であるだけです。
Satoko-chan is the daughter of the Hojo family.
別に聡子ちゃんがダムに賛成して村と敵対したわけじゃありません。
But she's not the one who supported the dam project and fought against the village.
坊主憎ければ今朝までというのは気の毒ではないでしょうか。
I think it's unfair for you to judge her that way.
ガラシ。
Shut up!
お前誰に向かって口とんと。すったらやっとらんわこら。
Who do you think you're talking to, you piece of shit?
みーちゃんのおばあちゃんって本当にさとこちゃんのこと許してるの？
Are you sure that she's willing to forgive Satoko-chan?
ミオンが言うにはそうなんだがな。
That's what Mion told me.
なるほど。町会の連中が言うのが少し分かったぜ。
I think I get where the other villagers are coming from now.
ケイイチ君も何か言いたそうだね。
You look like you have something to say, Kechi-kun.
この際だ。何でも言ってごらん。
You should just let it out. I made eye contact with Mion's mom. She's very pretty, but she was wearing the same grave look as Oryu. By then, I had no doubts that this was Mion's mother.
言ってもいいですけど。
I don't mind talking.
いいんですか？
Is it really okay, though?
いいよいいよ。
Go ahead.
せっかく園崎本家までおいでなんだ。
You came all the way here to the Sonozaki residence.
あんたもいいな。
You should speak if you want to. Reina nodded in agreement. Okay.
園崎お涼さん。
Oryu Sonozaki-san.
前原圭一と申します。
My name is Kechi Maibara.
まだ引っ越してきたばかりですが、よろしくお願いします。
I moved here not too long ago. Nice to meet you.
お前が挨拶せんでも、お前の答えよう知っとるね。
I already know a great deal about you.
今だから話す。
Let me tell you something.
前原家が引っ越してきた時、ばっちゃんに挨拶してないのを根に持っててね。
When your family moved to this village, you didn't come here to introduce yourself.
印象悪いんだよ。
That left a pretty bad impression. Shit. Why was Mion only telling me that now? Sure hope I'm not too late to introduce myself.
北条聡子がどうかが問題じゃない。
Leave aside the fact that it's Satoko Hojo for a minute.
村の一員が今、危機的な状況にあります。
The important thing to note is that a villager's in danger right now.
それを救うためには、相談所に訴えるしか方法がないんです。
In order to help that person, we have no choice but to make an appeal to the Child Consultation Center.
そして、それは俺が勝手にやってることです。
Besides, I'm doing all of this on my own accord.
あなたに迷惑をかけてることじゃない。
I haven't caused you any trouble.
迷惑って話は村長さんから聞かされてるよね。
But you heard from the mayor that you have been causing trouble, didn't you?
ひなみ沢連合町会は鹿骨市役所とは手打ちをしてるんだよ。
The Hinamizawa Town Council and the Shishibone City Hall are working together.
市長と大馬場様は過去を水に流し、連携して共存していくことを確認し合ってる。
The Shishibone mayor and this virago here had a talk with each other, and they decided to coexist.
村を栄えさせるために当然のことなのさ。
That was necessary for this village to prosper.
その村の栄というのは、聡子一人を見殺しにできるものなんですね。
But that village is gonna let an innocent girl suffer?
さっき私が言ったのを聞いていたかい？
Didn't you hear what I just said?
見殺しなんて誰もしてないよ。
No one is going to just let her suffer.
相談所だってちゃんと対応してくれてる。
The consultation center will take action when appropriate.
それでも急いでほしいってのは、圭一君のわがままじゃないのかい？
You want them to hurry up, but frankly, you're being selfish.
村と役所は手打ち。聡子には波の対応。
The town council and the government officials aren't a business relationship. They're treating Satoko's issue like it's an ordinary one.
だから聡子がどんなにヤバい状況でも知ったことじゃないってんですか。
So basically, you're saying that you don't care how much danger Satoko is in right now.
さっきミオンたちも言ったように、鉄平って野郎はまずい。
Like Mion just told you, Tepe is a horrible person.
3日ぶりに聡子が投稿してきた時、あいつはもうボロボロだった。
When Satoko showed up at the school 3 days after she was kidnapped, she was already at her wit's end.
たったの3日でですよ。
And only 3 days.
その10倍の時間で、一月が経っただけで、どうなってるか想像もつかない。
I can't even imagine what would happen if we left her alone with him for a month.
しかも1ヶ月後には、絶対に救われる保証もない。
There's no guarantee that she'll be saved after that either.
その時点で、様子見と相談所は判断するかもしれません。
At that point, they might decide to put her case on hold again.
ミオンのお母さんは心ならいくら傷つけられても構わないとおっしゃるんですか？
Miss Sonozaki, does the emotional damage she's suffering not matter at all to you?
じゃああんたはどうしろって言うんだい？
So what do you think we should do?
すぐに助けるべきだと訴えています。
I'm making an appeal to the Child Consultation Center, asking them to save her as soon as possible.
そしてそれを決断してくれるまで訴えを続けるつもりです。
I'm going to continue going to the center until they do.
なら決まりだ。
Well then, there you go.
ケイイチ君は続けるといい。
You can just continue your appeal.
そのザキ家は知ったことじゃないよ。
It's none of the Sonozaki's business.
それでいいかい？
Isn't that enough? Damn it. She's so hard-headed. It was easy to win an argument with the old people in the assembly hall, since they got agitated so quickly. But Akane-san, Mion's mom, is way tougher than that. Both of the Sonozaki sisters and their grandma are quick to anger, but Akane-san seemed incredibly calm. She was calm, but still full of animosity.
でも、もうそういうわけにはいかないんです。
But I can't continue our appeal anymore.
町会が役所に対し、俺たちのやってることを支持しないと言ってしまったから、相談所はもう俺たちの訴えに耳を貸してはくれないんです。
If the town council doesn't tell the officials that they're going to support us, the Child Consultation Center won't listen to us at all.
そういうことなんだよ、母さん。
Did you hear that, Mom?
だから勝手にすればいいじゃもはや済まない。
We can't just do whatever we want.
懲戒として支持か不支持をはっきり表明してくれないと後が続かないんだよ。
We need the town council to decide whether they're going to support us or not.
というか、懲戒はもう決着がついてます。
Actually, council has already made their decision.
おばあちゃんさえ納得してくれれば支持してもいいとまとまってます。
They said they'd support us as long as Granny agreed.
だがんなことまとめんとすっちゃら。
Who the hell made that decision behind my back?
お前たちもダム戦争の時の北条夫妻の態度は知ってるだろ？
You're all aware of how the Hojo family acted during the dam conflict, aren't you?
あれを許せるのかって言われると、私も答えはノーだね。
If you're asking me to forgive them, my answer's still no.
私知らないんだけど、さとこちゃんのご両親ってどういう人だったの？
I'm not really familiar, actually. What were Sadako-chan's parents like?
お母さんはさとこがもっと強気になったみたいな人でした。
Her mom was like a stronger version of Satoko.
お父さんは鉄平の兄な人でした。
Her dad was, well, Teppei's older brother.
しかも鉄平より強くて怖かったです。
He was even stronger and scarier than Teppei.
あの鉄平よりもかよ。
Scarier than Teppei?
そりゃなんだか笑えない話だな。
That's not very funny.
なるほど。そのザキ家とバチバチと対立してた構図がようやく見えてきた。
I see. Now I'm starting to understand how they clashed with the Sonozaki family.
要するに、その時の煮えくり返った蝶がまだ収まらないと、そう言ってるんだな、このばあさんは。
I guess she hasn't forgotten how much they pissed her off. Also, I forgot to get water at the very start of my stream here, so give me like a minute. I gotta go get water real quick. Sorry. Alright, I'm back here.
聞こえるように言うとは、あんたも大した玉だね。
Ah, you're saying it out loud so we can hear.
子供たちからよくあんたの話は聞いてるよ。
My children have told me a lot about you.
大した器だそうじゃないかい。
I heard you're one courageous boy.
つけ上がったついでで恐縮ですが、
Let me tell you this straight up.
そこの布団のばあさんが頭を縦に振ってくれりゃ俺は満足です。
We'll be satisfied as long as that old lady in the futon just nods her head.
何もここにいる皆さんに俺たちの陳情に加わってくれとまでは言わない。
I'm not expecting you all to get involved in our protest.
ただ黙って頭を縦に振ってくれりゃいい。
All I need is for her to nod.
嫌だと言ったらどうするんだい？
And if she said no?
この場でばあさんの頭を叩き割ってミオンを新当主にして頭を縦に振らします。
I'd smash her head in and make Mion the new family head, so she can nod for us. What a bold thing to say right out loud to them. That is wild. It's crazy. Crazy kid. For some reason not voiced, but what the fucking hell did you just say, you goddamn son of a bitch? Someone bring me a sword, I'll cut him into pieces and dump him in the well.
おうばあさん、俺とやり合うつもりかよ。今日食った晩飯が最後の晩餐になっちまうぞ。
Are you ready for a fight, old lady? Whatever you ate tonight will be your last supper. Why is everything going into physical violence all of a sudden in this section? Shut up, you fucking little shit. Do you even know who you're talking to? The evil hag sent a violent glare my way, the intimidating aura surrounding her becoming almost visible. Normally, I'd be terrified. However, can't back off today. Satoko doesn't have much time left. Everyone here knows that. We all know that she'll be forever damaged in only a few more days. We would then cry and lament our powerlessness. We have to fight as best as we can, so that we have no regrets. There can be no limits to how far we'd go to save her.
はっきり言う。
Let me make this clear.
サトコは俺の仲間だ。
Satoko is my friend.
仲間のために俺は戦ってる。
I'm fighting for her sake.
あんたはどうだ？
How about you?
あんたもそうだったと聞いてるぞ。
I heard that you used to be like that.
一人の仲間のために村すべてを束ねて戦った。
You once fought. You and the whole village just to save one villager.
そしてその団結でダム計画を跳ね返したんじゃなかったのか？
Isn't that how strongly you rejected the dam project?
よそ者のくせによーしとね。
You're just an outsider.
おう、またんかいババア。
Wait a minute, old lady.
誰がよそ者だ？
I'm not an outsider.
俺はひなみ沢の前原圭一だ。
I'm Kechi Maibara from Hinamizawa.
ひなみ沢の仲間を助けるために戦ってる。
I'm fighting to save my friend who's also from Hinamizawa.
それを指してよそ者とはよく言ったぜ。
How can you say that I'm an outsider?
おりょうさん。
おりさん。
前原さんは確かに引っ越してきて日は浅いかもしれませんが、村にすっかり溶け込み、新しい風を吹き込んでくれる期待の若者です。
Maibara-kun came to this village not too long ago, but he's already adapted to our way of life. He's a young man with lots of promise.
家の先生はいつもか礼儀知らずを期待の若者言うようになった。
Since when did you think disrespect is the same as promise, Dr. Irie?
おい、だぞ、お茶と薬を持ってきてな。
Someone bring me my medicine and some tea already.
頭に血が上りすぎて血管が痛みよるんね。
All this blood rushed into my head is making it ache. The man on the far end stood up and brought over some tea and medicine.
礼儀知らずってんなら一度ここで筋を通します。
If you think I'm being disrespectful, then let me make this request properly.
北条里子を救うために園崎家も協力してください。
We want the Sonozaki family's help in order to save Satoko Hojo.
里子は村の一員です。
Satoko lives in this village too.
それ以上に俺の仲間です。
Moreover, she's my friend.
どうかお願いします。
Please help us. As I deeply bowed my head to her, my friends bowed along with me.
圭一君、頭を上げな。
Keiichi-kun, raise your head.
どうしたもんかね、ババ様。
What shall we do, mother?
どうしたもこうしたもない。
It's none of my business.
どないせっちゅね。
What are you expecting out of me?
里子ちゃんは圭一君の身内なんだって言ってる。
Satoko-chan is like family to Keiichi-kun.
それに圭一君が立ち回るのは筋は通ってるよ。
It's only natural for him to seek help for his family.
お母さん
Mom!
ただね、
However,
園崎家と北条家はとにかく仲が悪かった。
Sonozaki family and the Hojo family were enemies.
ババ様も公衆の面前で罵倒されてるしね。
They once disparaged mother in public too.
それを水に流せってのは簡単じゃない。
We can never forgive them for doing that.
けじめの問題だよ、これはね。
This is an issue of distinction.
けじめって何ですか？
What do you mean distinction?
堅気の言葉で言うとシャイだね。
I would need to make an apology.
ただそれを示すべき北条夫妻は事故で亡くなってる。
However, parents died in an accident.
それにあれだけのことをしてくれたけじめだ。
There's no one else who can apologize to us.
安くはつかないよ。
Forgiveness won't come cheap.
そのけじめってのを払えば怒りを水に流してくれるんですか？
So if she apologizes to you, you'll forget about what her family did?
私たちも義理の世界で生きてる。
The world we live in is one of honor.
頭を下げられたら水に流さないわけにはいかない。
If she apologizes to us, we'll have no choice but to forgive her.
まさかレナちゃん、さとこちゃんの頭を下げさせるのかい？
Are you going to make Satoko-chan apologize?
いいですよ。
Sure.
さとこちゃんにご両親の責任を説明して謝らせてもいいです。
I'll make her apologize for what her parents did.
けじめを示すべきご両親ではないけれど、それで許してくれますよね。
Her parents can't be there to do so, but you'll still forgive her, won't you?
許すかどうかは見てみないことにはわからないけれど。
We'll have to see her before we make our final decision.
まあ、シャイは感じるかもしれないね。
But I suppose we can say that we'll forgive her.
それでどうですか、みーちゃんのおばあちゃん。
What do you think, Ori-san?
さとこちゃんがダム戦争時のことを謝ったら。
What if Satoko-chan apologized to you about the dam conflict?
まあそこまでやってみせたら考えんこともな。
Well, I'll think about that when she apologizes to me.
すったら水に流すのも考えよ。
I might forgive her if she really did. She laughed, obviously thinking that Satoko would never actually apologize to her. It seemed for a moment as though Rina had compromised mind. However, Rina always has a plan up her sleeve.
でもさとこちゃんが謝ってけじめをつけたら。
But if she apologized to you,
けじめを示すべきでないにもかかわらず、村八分にして嫌ってきたけじめはおばあちゃんも取ってくれますよね。
would you apologize to her for discriminating against an innocent girl who didn't deserve to be treated that way?
な
the
さとこちゃん
French!
がダムに賛成したわけじゃない。
Satoko-chan wasn't the one supporting the dam project.
単に北条家の子供なだけです。
She's just the child of those who did.
それだけでおばあちゃんはさとこちゃんを毛嫌いしてきた。
But you hate her just for her last name.
この村ではあなたは単なる老女じゃない。
You're not just an ordinary old lady in this village.
ひなみ沢の意志を左右する今や御三家の筆頭、園崎家の当主です。
You hold great influence over the people here because you're the leader of the Sonozaki family.
そのあなたがさとこちゃんを公の場で毛嫌いすることは村全体に影響を及ぼします。
Your public hatred towards Satoko-chan had a huge impact on the way the village thinks.
それは町会でも明らかです。
That became clear with the town council too.
あなたが北条家を嫌っているから、北条家と親交があるとあなたにどんな不利益を受けるかわからないとみんなが思っている。
Everyone is afraid to interact with the Hojo family because of how much you hate them.
そりゃあババ様はひなみ沢の母だからね。
You're the mother of all Hinamazawa.
戦中戦後と一番辛い時代を切り盛りされた。
You're instrumental in keeping us all afloat in the difficult times after the war.
それくらいの影響力は当然さね。
It's only natural that you hold such great influence over the people here.
その影響力を知らないとは言わせません。
You're aware of how much your decisions can affect the whole village.
先ほどの言葉をお借りしますが、サトコは俺の仲間です。
Let me say this again. Satoko is my friend.
身内です。
She's my family.
それにあなたの影響力で不利益が被られるなら俺はあんたと戦わなくちゃならない。
If your influence is going to cause us trouble, I will do battle with you.
それが仲間を守るってことです。
That's what protecting your friends is all about. That's what protecting your friends is all about. I mean.
都会者風情がなかなか言うじゃないかい。
I'm impressed to hear that from a city boy like you.
親類の皆さんの意見も聞こうか。
Let me ask what the other family members think.
皆さんはどう思いだい？
Well, how about it, everyone?
筋は通っとる。
What he's saying does make sense.
園崎家と北条家のいさかいにまで口を出されることはないが、身内に対するけじめは取っとる。
The problem between the Sonozaki family and the Hojo family is not his business, but he's clear about how much he wants to save her.
北条家がなかったら真崎家もそんなに気にはせんのだがね。
There wouldn't be any problem if she wasn't a child of the Hojo family.
好きにすればいい。
They can do whatever they want to.
園崎家は協力もせんが邪魔もせん。
We as a family can just stay neutral.
それでいいだろう。
Don't you agree?
そういうわけにはいかんらしいですな、皆様方。
No. Apparently that's not enough, everyone. The big scary man in sunglasses spoke with a deep voice.
園崎家が頭を縦に振らんことには町会は納得しない。
He's saying that the town council won't support them unless the Sonozaki family agree to it as well.
町会が指示をしなきゃ役所は聞く耳を持たんと言ってます。
Without the support of the council, the center won't listen to them either.
はっきり白黒をつけるほかありませんな。
We need to be clear about our decision on this one.
お前さんはどう思うんだい？
What do you think?
圭一君。
Keiichi-kun.
いつも娘から聞いてるよりずっと立派に意見する男だ。
You're a stronger man than my daughters have led me to believe.
正直見直
Oh,
し
what a
た。
compliment. Frankly, I've had to change my opinion of you.
大した男だ。
You're a man among men.
どうもミオンのお父さんですか？
Hello. Are you Mion's father? I thought he was the boss of a Yakuza clan or something. Wait, I did hear once that her dad is exactly that. He certainly looks the part.
君のところの身内に迷惑をかけたのはうちに責任がある。
It's partly our fault that your friend is struggling.
親はともかく娘に罪はない。
Her parents aside, she's just an innocent girl.
そうでしょ、お母さん。
Isn't that right, mother?
知ったこかい。
Who even cares?
北条の名前を持つアカンタレはどういつもバチ当たりもんさね。
Anyone who bears the Hojo name is an ungrateful little shit.
それにこいつはさっきわしに頭を叩き割るとか抜かしよったんぞ。
He even told me a few minutes ago he's going to smash my head in.
そんなやつに大した男も減ったくれもね。
A bastard like that doesn't deserve to be called a man among men.
お母さん。
Mother.
ここは一つ圭一君に力を貸してはあげられませんでしょうか。
Can we help Keiichi-kun on this one time?
近頃珍しい熱心な若者です。
He's a passionate young man.
なかなかこうはっきり言える若者はおりません。
Not many youngsters these days have that kind of inner strength.
ばっちゃん、私もお願いするよ。
Granny, please.
私たちに力を貸してほしい。
We need your help.
さとこは私の仲間でもある。
Satoko is my friend too.
私はひなみ沢の仲間のために戦ったばっちゃの昔話をいつも尊敬してるんだよ。
I deeply respect how you fought for this village.
だから私もばっちゃみたいに仲間のために戦いたいんだ。
I want to fight like you for my friend.
私も頭を下げます。
I'm asking for your help too.
さとこは私の家族です。
Satoko is my family.
妹です。
She's a little sister to me.
お願いします。私たちに力を貸してください。
Please, please give us your help. Upon seeing the twins bowing so deeply, the stubborn old woman simply stared at them with that grave look of hers. I figured it would be difficult to get her to cooperate with us. The mayor looked troubled too. Mion's grandma eventually turned her gaze to me and I stared back at her.
頭はすでに一度下げたから、もう一度は下げない。
Fight, fight, fight. I already bowed to you once, so I'm not going to do that again.
でも、もう一度言う。
But let me say it just one more time.
俺たちに力を貸してくれ。
Please, help us.
サトコは俺の仲間で、あんたの村の一員でもある。
Satsuko is my friend, and she's one of the villagers.
そして、あんたを罵倒したわけでもない。
She was never disrespectful to you.
恨む筋合いはないはずだ。
You have no reason to hate her.
頭を縦に振って。
If I nod my head,
それでどうする？
what happens next?
懲戒の指示がつけば、相談所も耳を貸さないわけにはいかなくなる。
Once the council's on our side, the consultation center will have to hear us out.
それでも聞かなきゃ、また押しかける。
If they still don't listen, then we'll go there again.
今度はひなびざを上げてだ。
We'll go there with the whole village.
明日は土曜日。
Tomorrow is Saturday.
相談所も午前中はやってる。
The consultation center is open in the morning.
そして村人は祭りの準備のために集まるはずだ。
The villagers will all be gathering for the preparation for the festival then.
その人数で相談所に行く。
So I'll just take them all along with me.
それはすごいですね。
That would be crazy.
100人規模の話になります。
You'd be involving hundreds of people.
人数はどれくらい集まるんだい？
How many people would come exactly?
いきなり明日の話だから、賛同者がどれだけ出てくれるかはわからないけど。
I don't know how many of them would, but
とにかく、俺がみんなの前で話します。
I'd definitely go make a speech in front of all of them. Also, I just now noticed it's a good Rika face.
村長さんのところはどんな見通しです？
How do things look to you, Mr. Mayor?
町会役員はおおむね理解を示しています。
Most of the council members are supporting them.
確かに役所と築いてきた連帯も大切ですが、役員たちの中にも死守同盟時代の話を引き合いにして、里子ちゃんのために戦えないのはおかしいという声が上がっています。
Our relationship with the government is important, but some of them think it's more important to fight for Satsuko-chan. That is, to resurrect the spirit of the Guardians.
圭一君のやってることは理解できるし、反対する言われはないってことでまとまってます。
We all understand what Kechi-kun is trying to do, and no one disagrees with him.
なんだい、ババ様抜きでも町会はまとまってるんじゃないかい。
So the whole village is united even without Mother.
それで最後のケツだけを園崎家にさせようってのかい？
But you're still seeking final approval from the Sonozaki family?
なかなか意地の悪い注文をするもんだね、町会も。
That's a rather dirty way to do business.
茜さん、お嬢さん。
Akane-san, Oryu-san.
はっきり言うが、私も里子ちゃんが不憫だと思うんだ。
To put it simply, I feel bad for Satsuko-chan.
一人でけなげによく頑張ってきた。
She's doing the best she can, even though she's all alone.
この辺で里子ちゃんがもうみんなに嫌われてなんかいないってことを一つ大号令を発してもらうわけにはいかないかな。
I think it's time for us to let her know that she won't be ostracized by anyone anymore.
そんなことはできんね。
I refuse.
なんとわしは北条のクソガキを許さなるなとね。
I will never forgive the demon child of the Hojo family.
なら決まりだな。
God, no, you know what? You know how earlier I was like, man, wouldn't it be funny if they just came to her and she just immediately was like, yeah, it's totally fine. The other very funny thing is if she just keels over here during this meeting. She just croaks. And it doesn't matter. Mion takes the mantle. She's like, yeah, yes, you have the blessings of the family. Save Satsuko. Fine then.
てめえは俺の仲間の敵だ。
You're the enemy of my friend.
ってことは俺の敵だ。
That makes you my enemy.
今この場で息の根を止めてやるぜ。
I'm gonna kill you right here.
ミオ、お前がすぐに闘志を継いで俺を支持しろ。
Neon, you can take her place and lend us your support then.
ババ、今この場で締め殺してやら。
I'm gonna kill this old bat right this minute. Okay. As I jumped up, her family members stood in my way. They all had put their hands into their pockets. I don't want to imagine what they might pull out of there. Uh-oh.
本当にもうイライラする。
Ah, This is pissing me off!
繁盛すったら
How dare you say that?
お前さしゃったったら
I can't take this anymore!
おりょう、頭の血管が切れちゃいますです。
Oryu, think of your blood pressure.
はあ、おい。すまんね、リカちゃま。
Ah. I'm sorry, Rika-chan.
その薬袋を取ってくれんかいね。
Will you pass me that bag of medication?
血管切れたらどないすんしゃね。
My veins really are going to burst. She was mumbling too much for me to tell what she was saying, but I could tell that she was furious. She whispered something into Mion's mother's ear. She spoke for her instead.
申し訳ないけど、今夜はこれくらいにしてもらいます。
I'm sorry, but this is it for tonight.
ババ様も頭痛がひどくなっちゃって、これ以上は付き合いきれんって言ってます。
She has a horrible headache, and she can't talk with you any longer.
そんな、まだ俺は回答をもらってないです。
But I still haven't gotten in my answer.
ケイイチ君。
Keiichi-kun?
出直すってのも大人のルールってのを学びな。
You need to learn to play by the adults' rules.
だいぶ今日はおばさんも親切にしてあげてるんだよ。
I've been very patient with you today.
うちの子たちと仲良くしてくれてるから大サービスしてる。
That's because you're a friend of my daughter's.
そこいらへんを汲み取ってくれないと、私の顔が立たないね。
You need to reflect on that, don't you think?
ケイちゃん、今日は十分だよ。
Ki-chan, we've done enough today.
これくらいにしよう。
Let's get out of here. Based on Mion and Shion's reaction, Mion's mom is very scary when she's angry. They were convinced that their mom was going to explode in about 10 seconds. Still, should we really leave after just that? Damn it, I really want her to nod. If she gave me an answer tonight, I can gather a huge crowd tomorrow. The people at the Child Consultation Center were laughing at us today. We'd gradually increase the number of people we had until the third day, but on the fourth we had far less. They must think that we won't show up at all within a couple of days. No matter what, we can't stop showing up. How many days has it been since she was taken by her uncle? We don't have a single day to waste. However, for tonight, the meeting was over. The old lady went to sleep and we were kicked out of the room. Damn. Even though the rest of us were forced to leave, the mayor stayed behind to wrap things up. We decided to wait in the yard for him to come back out.
くそ、あと一息だったってのにな。
Damn it, we were almost there.
ケイイチ君は言うべきことをすべて言ったよ。
You said everything you needed to say.
でも、向こうにも考える時間は与えないといけない。
You have to give her time to think about it.
もちろん、そんな余裕はないんだけれど。
Of course, we don't exactly have time to waste.
監督的にはどう見えましたか？
What do you think, Coach?
おりょうさんがすっかり不機嫌モードに入ってしまいましたからね。
Oryu-san was in a really foul mood.
一度ああなったら下手をすると3日は機嫌を直しません。
When she gets like that, she'll stay that way for at least 3 days.
さっき前原さんも言ってましたが、明日の綿流しの準備の時にみんなに呼びかけてみんなで訴えに行くというのはちょっと無理だと思います。
It might be difficult for us to take any villagers along for the protest tomorrow.
でも、話を最後まで聞いてくれましたと思います。
At least she listened to us until the end.
あとは、おりょうを信じるだけなのです。
We just have to trust that she'll make the right decision.
そうだな。
You're right.
信じて待つってのは辛いことだな。
It's hard to trust in someone and just wait, though.
みんな、お疲
Hey,
れさん。
everyone! You all did a good job in there! Mion and Shion ran over to us.
お、ミオもシオもお疲れさん。
Hey, you two did a good job too.
どんな感じだった？
How was it?
うまくいきそうか？
Do you think it'll work out?
わかんない。
I have no idea.
私の見たところだと、バッチャの印象は最悪。
From the looks of it, she was in a terrible mood.
ケイちゃんは本家には二度と来ない方がいいだろうね。
Honestly, Kichan, I don't think you should ever come back here.
なんだミオンの家にはもう遊びに行けないってことか
What? So I can't ever hang out at your house again?
やれやれ
Jeez.
しかし
You did threaten to
ケイちゃん
kill
も大
her.
したもんですね。
Like, am I absurd for thinking that it's quite crazy? Like, given the circumstance and given the standing that this woman has, and also given the fact that she is constantly surrounded by like Yakuza like bodyguards, probably, like, I understand he's trying to make a point about like, no, I'm gonna show how serious I am about this, and that I'm not backing down. I'm gonna tell her to her face that I'm going to kill her. But given all that, the circumstances around it, it just seems crazy that he's like, that A, he would say that, and then B, he's like, like, hey, you two did a good job too. I had no idea. From the looks of it, she was in a terrible mood. Honestly, Keishan, I don't think you should ever come back here. And she's like, and he's like, what? So I can't ever hang out? I mean, I guess he's maybe making a slight joke there, but... What a crazy bastard. What a crazy kid. Still, that was really impressive, Kichan.
昨日の集会所もそうでしたが、よくあれだけ凄まれても震え上がらないものです。
You didn't even seem scared.
っていうか震えるほど怖かったか
Was she that scary?
怖え形相だなとは思ったけどそんなにビビるほどじゃなかったぜ
She had a scary look on her face, sure, but it wasn't that bad.
それは多分、ケイちゃんがバッチャの本当の怖さを知らないからだね。
You can only say that because you don't know how scary she really is.
まあ、無知も時には武器か。
Well, as I say, ignorance is bliss.
そんなことないよ。
That's not true.
ケイイチ君はそんな怖さを知ってたってサトコちゃんのためにひるまなかった。
I think he would have fought her, even if he knew how scary she can really be.
そういえば、竜宮さんもいくら怒鳴られても平気そうに見えました。
Speaking of which, you seemed fine when she yelled at you too, Ryugu-san.
声は荒げられてたけど怒ってはいなかったし。
She might have raised her voice, but she wasn't actually angry.
私も全然怖くなかったかな。
I wasn't scared at all either. Not at all.
あれが怒ってないように見えたっての？
Did she really not look angry to you?
うん。
No.
みーちゃんのおばあちゃん全然怒ってなかったよ。
Your grandmother wasn't angry at all. Is that really how it looked to her? To me, it looked like her head was going to explode. The next moment, I heard someone walking toward us. It was a mayor who was accompanied by Mion's mother.
おじいちゃん。
Oh, Uncle Kimiyoshi.
どうでした？
How was it?
ばあさんは怒ってました。
Did the old witch finally start melting?
それでね、OK だってさ。
Well, we got her approval.
え？
What?
それは
You
つ
mean?
まり
You mean?
おばあ様の OK サインが出たのさ。
The Virago gave you the green light.
だからケイチ君、あんたの好きなようにやっていいんだって。
You can do what you want to now, Kichikun.
それって本当ですか
Are you serious?
お母さん、本当なの？
Is that really true, Mom? That hag was so ticked off, though. I can't even imagine what caused her to grant us permission. No matter how it happened, I guess she accepted me in the end.
大ババ様はひなみ沢連合長会がケイチ君を支持することを認めてくれたよ。
The Virago gave approval for the town council to support Kichikun. I need to look this up. Look up, because now we've seen that word several times. Virago? A domineering, violent, or bad-tempered woman. Used in a sentence, the campaigns of these indignant viragos will come to naught. Or archaically, a woman of masculine strength or spirit, a female warrior. Virago. Huh. Okay. So yeah, kind of says the Virago gave approval for the town council to support Ketchikun.
ひなみ沢連長がバックにつくってことは、鬼ヶ淵死守同盟がバックについたのと同じってことになる。
Now you have the Onigafuchi Guardians on your side.
ってことは、絶対に負けられないってことさ。
With them, there's no way you can lose.
そして、みっともない戦いもできない。
But you can't put up a disgraceful fight either.
あんたは、引っ越してきたばかりのその身で、ひなみ沢が作り上げてきた団結の歴史を背負うんだよ。
You only just moved to this village, but you'll need to understand and appreciate the history of Hinamizawa.
その覚悟は終わりかい？
Can you take on this responsibility?
あります。
Yes, I can.
ほう、即答とは男だね。
My, you're a brave boy.
見上げた根性さ。
You do have my respect.
よくあれだけ大ババ様に言えたもんだよ。
Takes great courage to address the Virago like that.
最後に飛びかかって大ババ様の首根っこ踏んづかまえた時にはどうなるかヒヤヒヤしたね。
Gave me chills when you jumped on top of her and put your hands around her throat.
え？
Huh?
俺飛びかかる直前にはなりましたけど、っていうかあれは冗談みたいなもんで。
Well, I almost did jump on her, but I wasn't actually serious.
いいかい？
Listen for a moment.
前原圭一は大ババ様に飛びかかって首根っこガッツンガッツンやって納得させたんだよ。
You jumped on top of her and nearly choked her to death.
そういうことになったから。
That's how it's going to be.
なんでですか、物騒な。
Why? That's so violent.
大ババ様は北条家許すまじってことになってるもの。
The Virago can't possibly forgive the Hosho family.
それが若いのに何人か頭を下げられて、はいそうですかってわけにはいかないもの。
She also can't possibly give you what you want simply because you came to her and begged for it.
だから圭一君が大立ち回りをした挙句に大ババ様がその男気に惚れて特別に許したって、そのくらいの物語がないと説得力がないわけなんだよね。
So unless the story goes something like, after Ketchikun violently fought with the Virago, she was impressed by his chivalry and decided to grant him special permission, it won't sound convincing.
わかったかい、ミオン？
Got it, Mion? Yeah.
わかった。
That sounds great.
みーちゃんのおばあちゃんもいろいろと大変なんだね。
Things can't just be simple with her, huh? Huh.
こういうところで伝説ができちゃうんですね。
This is how a legend is born.
里子を救うためにお両大ババ様と取っ組み合いをしたと。
Now, people will believe that you physically fought with the hag in order to save Satoko.
ケイちゃん、多分街を歩くと今後は人が避けてくれますよ。
People are going to be afraid of you, Ki-chan.
ケイチの最強伝説の始まりなのです。
This is the beginning of the legend of Kechi the Strongest.
みんなケイチを見るとひそひそガタガタブルブルで道を開けるのです。
Everybody will run and hide when they see you on the streets.
そんな伝説はいらん。
I don't want to be a legend.
それよりありがとうございました。
Thank you very much. But anyway, thank you very much.
礼なんかいらないよ。
You don't need to thank me.
何しろ、町会はもう話がついてんだ。
Town council made the decision.
逆らいようがないさね。
We can't go against their wishes.
むしろこっちとしては、うちなんか無視してやってほしかったくらいだよ。
In fact, we would have preferred it if you just ignored us and went ahead with things.
それを君吉の村長さんも人が悪い。
That was a dirty move of yours, Mayor Kimiyoshi-san.
いや、でも納得してもらえてよかった。
No, well, I'm glad that she gave us her approval after all that.
大ババ様も、里子ちゃんがいつまでもダム戦争の続きみたいに冷遇されてるのは気にしてた。
The Rago always worried about Satoko-chan because people were still treating her poorly.
自分が墓に入るときしか生産のタイミングがないと思ってたみたいだからね。
She thought that she could only make everything right with her death.
正直、あんたたちが騒いでくれたおかげで、大ババ様は生きているうちにそれを解決できたってわけさ。
But thanks to all of you, she was able to settle this issue before the end.
内心は感謝してるはずだよ。
I'm sure she appreciates it.
いや、俺も感謝してます。
No, we're very thankful to her as well.
今度、日を改めて お礼を言いに来ます。
I'll have to come here again to thank her in person.
それはやめといた方がいいね。
That's not a good idea.
今度こそ日本刀で追い回されるよ。
She'll chase you around with a sword next time.
しかし今日の大ババ様は抜かなかったね。
In fact, I'm surprised she didn't do that today.
よっぽどケイイチ君が可愛かったんだよ。
She must be fond of you, Kechi-kun.
僕もそう思いましたです。
I thought so too.
おりょうは日本刀が大好きなのですよ。
Oryu's even more fond of using her sword.
リカちゃん笑いながら言うな。
Rika-chan, don't say that with such a big smile.
生きて帰れて大感謝だぜ。まったく。
I'm glad I'm still alive.
今日のケイイチ君にはおばさんも惚れたよ。
I've grown fond of you too after today.
男はそうでなくちゃいけない。
That's what being a man is all about.
さとこちゃんも過保者だね。
Satoko-chan is a very lucky girl.
こんな男にここまで一生懸命になってもらえてさ。
Having such a dedicated man as you.
母さん、別にケイちゃんはサトコとそういう関係ってわけじゃ。
Wait, Mom, Satoko and Ki-chan aren't like that.
なんだ、そうだったのかい？
Oh, they're not?
まだお手つきがないならあんたたちも頑張りな。
If he doesn't have a girl yet, then you two have a chance.
ねえ、ケイチ君。ミオンとシオン、どっちか好きな方を持っておいきよ。
Hey, Kechi-kun, between Mion and Shion, which do you prefer? Kechi, don't answer that fucking question. Don't answer that fucking question.
おばさんのことは今日からお母さんって呼んでいいからね。
You can call me your mother from now on if you like. Kechi, don't call your mother. Don't do it. Don't do it. Mion and Shion simultaneously turn red and hit me with their fist and their elbow. The apple sure doesn't fall far from the tree, huh? Their mom just talks the same way that they do.
じゃあケイチ君、
Well, Keshi-kun,
君はお嬢さんを説得してくれた。
you managed to successfully persuade Oryu-san.
約束通り町会は君を支持するぞ。
Just as we promised, you have the council's support.
明日の昼にその旨をきっちり向こうに連絡する。
We'll call the people in charge tomorrow and let them know.
もちろん私もサトコちゃんをすぐに保護するべきだというつもりさ。
And of course, I'll tell them to take Satoko-chan under their protection as soon as possible.
何しろお嬢さんの指示があるんだからね。
We have Oryu-san's support too.
多分その電話だけでサトコちゃんはすぐに助け出されるさ。
I'm sure Satoko-chan will be rescued shortly after my call.
本当ですか？
Are you serious?
ケイちゃんはそれだけの相手を口説き倒したってことだよ。
You just managed to persuade someone that important, Ki-chan.
じゃあこれでサトコは明日には必ず。
So, Satoko-chan, really will be safe this time tomorrow?
まだ絶対と決まったわけではありません。
We can't say that for sure.
でももし君吉のおじいちゃんの電話を断れば、それは鬼ヶ淵死守同盟を敵に回すということになります。
If they refuse Uncle Kimiyoshi's request, that means that Onigafuchi Guardians will come after them.
おじいちゃんは普段は温和だけど、同盟会長になった時はそりゃあ鬼ですから。
He's normally a calm guy, but he's like a monster when he becomes the leader of the Guardians, aren't you, Uncle?
そん時は鬼になるよ。
Now I'll be a monster if I have to.
とにかく男の約束だ。
I can promise you that.
サトコちゃんがすぐにでも助け出せるように協力する。
I'll do my best to ensure that Satoko-chan is rescued as soon as possible.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you so much.
あとそれからサトコを北条家だからとか言って差別するのももうなしにしてください。
Also, will you please stop ostracizing Satoko just because of who her parents were?
おじいちゃん時々言ってますもんね。
We heard you saying bad things about her, you know?
北条の罰当たり者みたいなこと。
Saying something about how she's a member of a cursed family?
あれは他の人に悪ぶって言ってるだけで、別におじいちゃんはサトコちゃんのことを嫌ってるわけじゃないんだよ。
I was just saying those things because of other people. I don't personally have anything against her.
ならそういう悪ぶるのもなしですね。
Then quit saying it, alright?
さとこちゃんを村の子供として本当の意味で受け入れてください。
Please just accept her as just another child of the village.
分かってる。
Of course.
今後は酒の席でも軽率なことは言わんや。
I'll never say that again.
約束する。
I promise you that.
うかつなこと言うと私がケイチ君に首根っこをつかまれそうだ。
I'm afraid Kechi-kun might throttle me too. After that, we start heading back home. Satoko still isn't saved, but I think we made huge progress today just the same. The mayor is going to call the child consultation center tomorrow to tell them that he's on our side. He's also going to persuade them to save Satoko as soon as possible. He'll bring up Ori-san's name too.
さとこはこれで運命から救われるのでしょうか。
Is Satoko really going to be rescued from her fate?
ああ、間違いなくな。
Yeah, I'm sure she will.
ひょっとすりゃ明日にも救い出せるさ。
She might even be saved tomorrow.
それでダメなら今度は総攻撃だ。
If not, we'll go all out next time.
半端ねえ規模でな。
It'll be the war to end all wars.
それからな、リカちゃん。
Also, Rika-chan. Me?
運命とかって安っぽく言うんじゃない。
Don't use words like fate anymore.
運命って言うと初めから結果が決まってるみたいに聞こえる。
Putting it like that, it's like it's already been decided.
でもな、最初から結果が決まってることなんて何もない。
But see, nothing is actually decided in advance.
結果を作るのは俺たちなんだ。
We're the ones who make our own futures.
だから何をしても無駄みたいな意味で運命って言葉を使うんじゃない。
So stop using the word fate, as if there's nothing we can do. Rika seemed to think about what I said for a while. I wondered for a moment if I said something that hurt her feelings, but Rika-chan soon smiled at me.
ケイチがそう言うならそうしよ
Okay, I'll do what you say.
う。私はもう運命なんて気安く口にしない。
I won't use that word anymore.
運命がいかに容易に破れるかをあなたは私にこうして何度も教えてくれるのだから。
You told me you could change fate as easily as tearing a piece of paper.
この100年の中で鉄平が帰ってくるという最悪の才の目すらもこうして打ち破れる今。
And after 100 years, you're about to break the horrible cycle of Teppei's return.
逃れられぬ死の運命なんてきっと大したものなんじゃないって思える。
I can now believe that the danger that awaits me is something that can be changed as well.
ああ、それより最悪の目はあなたが転校してこないことか。
The worst thing that could ever happen is you not moving to Inamazawa.
この100年の間でほんの1、2度あったわね。
I experienced that twice in the past 100 years.
寂しい世界だったわ。
Those were the saddest worlds of all.
ん？
Huh?
たまにリカちゃんの言ってる話がよくわからないな。
I don't understand a thing that just came out of your mouth.
煙に巻いてるつもりなんだろ。
You're trying to confuse the issue, aren't you?
み
Me?
内緒なのですよ。
That's a secret. I'll do just as Kechi says. I won't use words like fate anymore. I love that. Ring ring. Hello, thank you for calling. You've reached Shishibone City Hall.
もしもし。
Hello.
すみません。生活振興部の自治係をお願いします。
Excuse me, could you get me to the local affairs chief from the social welfare department? Of course, please hold.
お待たせしました。
Thank you for calling.
自治係でございます。
This is the local government section.
もしもし。どうも。 係長の相田さんはいらっしゃいますか？
Hello, may I speak to the head clerk, Ida-san?
これは君吉会長さん、ご無沙汰いたしております。
Hello, Kimiyoshi-san.
先日は大変お世話になりました。本当にありがとうございました。
Thank you very much for the other day.
いやいや、こちらこそ悪かったね。
No, no, it was no problem.
本当にありがとう。
Really, I should be thanking you.
助かったよ。
I'm much obliged.
あ、係長が戻りました。
The head clerk is right here.
今変わります。
I'll give him the phone.
係長、ひなみ沢連長の君吉会長さんです。
Sir, it's Kimiyoshi, the head of the Hinamazawa Town Council.
はい、もしもし。
Hello?
どうもどうも。今日はいかがなさいましたか？
How may I help you today?
実はね、先日の沖宮の生活相談所の件なんだけど。
Well, calling about that case at the Child Consultation Center.
はいはい。若い子たちが陳情に来ているという話ですね。
Oh, yes, a group of young children have been protesting in front of the office.
いやー、相談所の方も困っていたそうで。
There's such an inconvenience.
会長さんにご相談できて本当に良かったです。
So glad that we were able to talk to you about that.
それで、どんな話になりましたか？
So how did it turn out?
うん。
Well,
それでね、ひなみ沢連長としては、正式に前原君を応援することに決まりましたわ。
the village has officially decided to support Maibara-kun.
え？すみません。今、なんと？
Excuse me, could you say that again?
うちの町会でも前原君のやってることは筋が通ってると。
The town council agrees with what Maibara-kun is doing.
いやね、若い方が納得してくれんのですわ。
The younger people in the council want to support him as best they can.
若いって言っても50、60の人たちですがね。
Well, I say younger, but they're in their 50s and 60s. I see.
しかし会長さん。
However,
他の役員さんはどう言っておられるんですか？
what are the other council members saying? Well,
それは昨日綿流しの実行委員会の席がそのまま緊急の役員会になっちゃってね。
we held an emergency meeting last night.
最初は石頭連中が渋ったんだけど、すっかり前原君に言いまかされちまった。
Some of the more hard-headed members were against it at first, but they were persuaded by Maibara-kun in the end.
いやね、彼は最近にしちゃ骨のある子だよ。
You know, we don't see young people with that much backbone these days.
ああいう子をもっと応援しないと青少年の育成にはならないよ。
In my opinion, attitudes like that ought to be nurtured for the sake of a brighter future.
それではひなみ沢連長役員会の総意ということでよろしいでしょうか？
So, everyone on the council has reached a consensus?
そうです。
Yes, that's right.
総意です。
Everyone came to an agreement.
反対の役員はおりませんでした。
Nobody's opposed to supporting him.
君吉会長さん。
Kimiyoshi-san?
先日もお話ししました通り、相談所の方も相当やってくれてるんです。
As I explained to you, the people of the Child Consultation Center are doing the best they can.
ただですね、観察期間を経ないことには判断が下せませんし、最近は特に人権意識の高まりもあって、いろいろとこの。
However, they cannot render their final judgment before the investigation period is over. It's a human rights issue.
そんなのは前原君が何でも説明してるよ。
I believe Maibara-kun explained it to them many times.
里子ちゃんはとんでもなく暴力的なおじに閉じ込められてるんだ。
Sataka-chan is being locked up by a terribly violent man.
体の傷じゃないよ。心の傷になっちゃうんだよ。
The emotional scars she's suffering will never heal.
育ち盛りの時期の心の傷は一生に暗い影を落としちまうんだよ。
She will forever have a deep wound in her pure and innocent heart.
この間の青少年セミナーの先生も言ってたでしょ。
Remember what they were saying at the youth seminar the other day?
一緒に聞いたでしょ。
You were there with me, weren't you?
まあ。
Yes, well...
それで園崎顧問の方はどんな感じですか？
What does the Sonozaki family say about this? Well,
お嬢さんもね、やるべしと。
Oryu-san agrees with us.
そう強い口調でしたわ。
She was very clear about that.
慎重だか慎重だか知らんが、これ以上里子ちゃんの件を放置するってんなら、ひなみ沢連長全体で前原君をバックアップしていかなくてはなりませんわ。
If you're going to insist on not rescuing Satoko-chan, the whole village will be joining Maibara-kun's movement.
そうですか。園崎顧問が。
Oryu Sonozaki-san said that?
まあ、そう。こういうのはご家庭の問題でもありますし、ご近所の問題もありまして、なかなか行政は動きにくいところがありまして。
Well, this is a problem within the family, so it's very hard for the government to take care of it.
近所に出てくればうちらも言ってやるけど、何しろほとんど表に出てこないやつだからな。
If I could see the man, I'd talk to him in person, but he rarely even leaves his house.
それに町会の者が余計なこと言ったら、里子ちゃんが余計八つ当たりとかされちまうかもしれないだろ。
Besides, if one of us personally said something to him, he might even get nervous and hurt Satoko-chan even more.
だからこそ行政の出番じゃないのよ。
That's why the local government has to get involved.
全くおっしゃる通りですね。
I understand your point.
後ほどこちらからも園崎顧問さんにお電話をしまして事情を伺ってみます。
I'll call Sonozaki-san in a moment and ask for her opinion too.
やめた方がいい。
I'd advise you not to do that.
すっかりお嬢さんへそを曲げちゃってる。
Oryu-san is very upset right now.
しばらくは電話をしない方がいいね。
I really wouldn't call her for some time.
そうですか。
Really?
それは困りましたね。
That's not good.
園崎顧問は頭に血が上られると鬼のようになりますからね。
When she's mad, it's like she turns into a demon.
それでね。
Anyway.
係長さんの方から相談所の方に里子ちゃんの即時保護をお願いしてほしいんです。
I want you to tell the Child Consultation Center to put Satoko-chan under their protection immediately.
なんなら私が一緒に行ってもいいです。
I'll come with you, if you need me to.
今から行きましょうか。
We can go right now.
いやいやいやいやいやいやいや。
Oh, no.
会長さんにご足労いただくことはございません。
I can't make you go to all that trouble.
こちらから相談所の方に連絡しまして、結果を本日中にご連絡させていただきます。
I'll call the Child Consultation Center and give you their feedback later today.
今日の昼前には欲しいな。
I want you to let me know before noon.
そんな夕方になるまで長話にはならんでしょう。
I'm sure your call won't be so long it stretches into the evening.
所長ってそんなに忙しいの？
Is the head of the office that busy?
いやいやいやいやいや。
No, he's not.
わかりました。
Very well.
お昼まで会長さんのお宅へご連絡させていただきます。
I'll call you back before noon today.
くれぐれもよろしくお願いしますよ。
Thank you very much.
紹介はね、相談所の対応が鈍いと、陳情を真面目に聞いてくれてないと非常に怒ってると伝えてくださいよ。
Tell them that the town council is very upset that they're not taking this appeal seriously enough.
わかりました。必ず伝えますので。
Yes, I will let them know.
はい。
Yes.
ごめんくださいませ。
I'll talk to you again soon. Click.
係長、なんだかヤバそうな話をしてましたね。
Sir, are you okay?
参ったなあ。ひなみ沢連長が燃え上がっちゃったぞ。
This is bad. Hinamizawa Village is kicking up a storm again.
斉藤君、悪いんだけどさ、園崎顧問に電話して事情を聞いてくれないかい？
Saito-kun, will you please call Sonozaki-san and ask her what's going on?
俺は相談所に連絡する。
I need to call the Child Consultation Center.
これはひょっとするとやばいぞ。ダム戦争の再発になるぞ。
This might be a resurrection of the dam conflict.
ああ、もしもし。
Oh, hello.
どうもお世話になっております。自治係でございますが、所長さんはおいでですか？
Yes, this is the local government section calling. May I speak to the head of the office?
ひなみ沢の連合町会が指示ですか？
Inamazawa Town Council supporting them?
先日聞いてもらった時には確か町会と連中は無関係だって話だったんじゃないですか？
I thought you told me they weren't connected to this.
先日会長や顧問にお尋ねした時はそういうお話だったんですが。
I did. When I spoke to the mayor the other day, they weren't involved.
なんでもですね、昨夜の役員会でコロって一転して全会一致で指示に決まったそうなんです。
However, they changed their stance just last night.
まあ、わかりました。
I understand.
ですが別に町会名で抗議にいらっしゃられてもこちらも対応を変えるわけにはいきません。
However, we're still not going to reverse our decision even if the whole village really does show up.
町会の抗議があったから特別待遇にしなくちゃならないなんておかしいですから。
It wouldn't be right to give her special treatment just because the town council protests.
所長、南沢連長はご存知と思いますが、前身は鬼ヶ淵死守同盟です。
Sir, I believe you're aware of this, but they're the Onigafuchi Guardians.
所長はダム戦争はご存知ですよね。
You know about the dam conflict, right?
ダム戦争の時は県にいましたから新聞に載っている以上のことはよく知りません。
I wasn't living here then, so I don't know much about it.
本庁の方にデモが来てたみたいな話は聞いてますが。
I heard that it was some huge government protest or something like that.
端的に申し上げて少しですね。
I'm gonna be honest with you.
先方の話に耳を傾けられた方がよろしいんじゃないかと。
I think you should pay attention to what they're saying.
でも係長さん。
But wait a minute.
死守同盟はもう何年も前に解散しているでしょう。
I heard that the Onigafuchi Guardians disbanded years ago.
その後、オタクとうまくやってると聞いてます。
Haven't you had a fairly close relationship with the village ever since the conflict ended?
うまくいってるつもりだったんですが。
Yes, things had worked out smoothly.
たった一晩で何があったやら。
I wonder what happened to change that overnight.
陳情のリーダーの前原君という子、会長さんがとても気に入られてるようでして。
The mayor seems to be favoring a young man named Maibara-kun.
しかも園崎顧問の指示まで得るとはただごとではありません。
They have the support of Sonozaki-san too. It's not a trivial matter.
園崎顧問ってよく聞くひなみ沢の影の会長さんって方ですよね。
Sonozaki-san? You mean the ruler of the underside of Hinamizawa?
お会いしたことはありませんが。
I've never actually met her.
とにかくですね、ご注意いただいた方がよろしいかと思います。
At any rate, you need to be careful.
もしも可能でしたらですね。
If it's at all possible.
北条さんの件、急いで保護してあげる方向で検討してもらえないでしょうか。
I think you should try to protect Hojo-san immediately.
私は町会さんとご縁があったことがないので分かりかねますが。
I'm not familiar with this mayor, so I don't know what kind of person he is.
そもそも行政は粛々と進めるべきものであって、その処理する順番が横やりによって変わるのは職務の怠慢ではないかと考えます。
Our job needs to be done carefully, and no matter the job, it's just not right to do things in a disorderly fashion.
うちの職員も少ない人員の中で精一杯やってるんです。
Our people are doing the best they can.
福祉士も山積みの仕事の中から順に片付けてるんです。
They have piles of other cases to work on.
そのどれもが当事者にとってとても大切なことです。
Every single case is very important.
どれも最優先でどれも後回しにできません。
We can't just prioritize her case for no reason.
そうですか。
I see.
わかりました。
I understand.
では私の方から君吉会長さんの方にそのように連絡しておきます。
I'll call Kimiyoshi-san back and let him know your opinion.
そんな連絡する必要があるんですか？
You need to call him back?
市政は町会の太鼓持ちじゃないでしょ。
Look, the municipal government doesn't exist for this town council's amusement.
オタクもあまり特定の町会にばかり便宜を図ると良くないんじゃないですか？
Why are you bending over backwards just to look after the needs of one village?
わかりました。
I understand.
はい。申し訳ございませんでした。
Thank you for your time.
それでは失礼いたします。
I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Click.
ダメだな。
this is really bad.
この所長、剣士の人事交流で来てる人だ。
That guy isn't even from around here.
地元町会の怖さを分かってない。
He has no idea how scary that town council can be.
県の職員出身じゃそんなもんですよ。
That's a transfer from the prefectural office for you.
しかも相手はひなみ沢連長だぞ。
He's fighting against Hinamizawa.
俺はどうなっても知らないからね。
I refuse to be responsible for this one.
そっちはどう？
How did you do?
園崎顧問と連絡がついた。
Did you get to talk to Sonozaki-san?
はい。
Yes.
君吉会長と同じ意見だそうです。
She has the same opinion as Kimiyoshi-san.
相談所への連絡に対する返事は会長だけでなく顧問の方にも欲しいそうです。
She also wants a call from you regarding what the Child Consultation Center said. Okay, that's good that there's confirmation here, because for a second, I was thinking, like, the way Kimiyoshi kind of, like, she was already, like, Oryu was like, no, I'm not changing my mind. And then I thought there was something fishy about the fact that they left outside, like the kids, and they were like, ugh, well, they felt kind of dejected, and then immediately, Akane and Kimiyoshi came out and were like, oh, she changed her mind, and you'll just the story will be written that you choked her out or whatever the fuck. And there was a point there where I was like, oh, that's strange. Like, it seems like something's fishy about that whole situation. So I was thinking maybe they went behind her back somehow. But if they're saying they did actually get to speaking to her, and she confirmed that, then unless there's some really weird thing about, like, they didn't speak to her on the phone, could Akane, like, have put on an Oryu impression? I mean, the thing is, like, Oryu seems so hard-headed and so stubborn and so set in her ways. So why would she have, once the kids left immediately, would she be like, oh, I'm changing my mind, fine, fuck it. Like, something doesn't seem right about that, right? Like, it seems so wrong that it seems like it's intentionally something fishy. Does that make sense? And then, the way this is written, the fact that they spoke to them on the phone, and it's the phone being a thing, makes it almost seem like it's trying to confuse you. Not confuse you, but it's trying to make you think that they actually did, that they double locked in, that they spoke to Oryu, and Oryu was okay with the plan now. I might be really overthinking this, but, like, you know what? I feel like I'm making some sort of sense here. Something doesn't seem right. But I will also admit that maybe I'm just way overthinking something. Anyway, the second line of this was, she also wants a call from you regarding what the Child Consultation Center said. No, this is really, really bad. I thought this was going to be a happy Saturday.
相談所長は怖いものなしで懲戒なんか知らんってさ。
The head of the consultation center has no idea what he's up against.
下手すりゃ週明けには本庁と相談所を凱旋者が囲むこともあり得るぞ。
There's going to be a huge crowd swarming the area by the beginning of the week.
会長宅と顧問宅に連絡ですね。
We have to call Kimiyoshi-san and Sonozaki-san right away, huh?
手分けしてお返事しますか？
Should I help with that too?
その前に市長室に連絡するよ。
Before anything else, we should be calling the mayor of Shishibone. Brink? Reviving the Guardians. Were there no new tips? Wait, did those pop up and I just didn't see it for a sec? Yeah, no new tips. Look at that! When's the last time we hadn't had new tips after a section, after a chapter, after a thing? Feels like it's gotta have been a while. Well, look at that. I will say, this is gonna make me sound like I'm absolutely hating this chapter, but I think, and this would make sense if you listened to me, what I was talking about, what I thought that what this chapter is going to be, especially after the first couple of part sections of it. This chapter is going a different route than what I originally thought it was going to be. And I must say, again, I'm not saying I necessarily hate this chapter or anything, but I think the beginning part of this chapter held a lot of promise, and I thought it was actually super interesting. And I was like, oh, hell yeah. We're getting Rika-focused perspective, yada yada. We're going to see them go through a lot of the different things, and then we're going to see it. And then, understandably, I get it, and it makes sense, and I get why they're doing it, but we've shifted away. We've shifted away from the Rika perspective. We've gone back to Keshi. We've seen his plight of the trying to save Satoko, and obviously we know Satoko, this whole thing is important because obviously to Rika, Satoko needs to be saved in order for the outcome to change and all that. I get all that, but we've shifted away from Rika to Kechi again, and these last few streams have just been... I mean, again, I'm not fully entering hating arc or anything here, but like slow stretch of like just grueling. Oh, let's go talk to the consultation center. Let's talk to the consultation center. Let's go talk to the pervy guys at the Angel Mort. Let's go talk to the old people at the council. Let's talk to the consultation center. And I get it. Like I said earlier, even I think just in this stream, right? What I was kind of saying is like, I feel that it's intentionally kind of supposed to feel like the draggingness, because I think we're supposed to get the same sensation as the kids are in that it's like every day that ticks forward and Satoko's not saved, she's under the watchful eye of her abusive uncle. That's bad, and we're supposed to kind of feel that. I want to think that that's intentionally being done, because it's supposed to feel kind of helpless, and it's supposed to like they're feeling like hitting a brick wall kind of thing. But in saying all that, I'm a little like, I thought this chapter was going to be slightly different. I was like, it started really interesting and all. And I'm not saying this part hasn't been interesting. There's definitely been some interesting moments and stuff, but it's been kind of... I assume what we're doing is we're slowly building for the end of this chapter, which is going to be either the ultimate success or the ultimate failure of getting Satoko out of the situation. And then the result of that. Is this going to result in a change that Rika is seeking, right? I don't know. Those are my thoughts right now. You want my thoughts? Of course you want my thoughts. And I say that in the most non-pompous sounding way possible. Let's see. So we're back. Higurashi Saturday night should be happening. Hopefully we can read 2 sections. Fingers crossed. Other than that, let's see the rest of the week here. Wednesday, tomorrow, we'll definitely hit Ghost Trick. Part 2 of Ghost Trick stream. Maybe if we're feeling very adventurous, maybe we hit up 2 games tomorrow. And then nothing on Thursday. And then Friday, it's wholly... What we do on Friday is really going to be dependent about how far we get into basically Ghost Trick. So if we get super far into Ghost Trick, then I won't feel the need to, but if we get like super far, then we're like, ooh, maybe we can get like really close to ending Ghost Trick on like Friday. Or I don't know, if we play a bit of Ghost Trick and it doesn't feel like we're getting very far in it, then we're like, oh, maybe we need to take Friday and play a lot of Ghost Trick to get far. I know it sounds like both options I just presented makes it sound like no matter what's happening, Ghost Trick is being played on Friday. I don't necessarily know that for sure. But yeah, we'll take it. But yeah, basically Wednesday and Friday, a combination of Ghost Trick and probably honestly more Super Scout will be happening. If you haven't checked out Super Scout is also happening. Those are the 2 current Spooktober games. Ghost Trick, obviously, and Super Scout, which is... I feel like more people know what Ghost Trick is. I'm assuming less people probably know what the hell a Super Scout is. And all I can say is FMV a dating game like scenario. Part 1 should already be on, or not as of the live recording, but if you're watching this on YouTube, it should already be on YouTube as of yesterday, once this goes up, published on YouTube. You can go see the first part of me doing that. I'm interested to see where that story goes, weirdly. So, as always, and I genuinely mean it, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I genuinely mean both of those. I hope you're having or have a nice night. I will see you in another stream, whether it's Ghost Trick, Super Scout, anything else, or more Higurashi. I'll see you in another one. Yeah, until tomorrow night. So long.